boxers, gangsters, drug dealers. I mean, you wouldn't want to stay around theirs, would you? Well, guess what? I got an invite. I'm moving in with some of the country's most dangerous men, so we can find out how they sleep at night. And judging by this mob, there's gonna be tears before bedtime.
This time I think I've gone too far.
I've been putting myself into some mad situations, but this one, I really generally, you know, I've got the fear. The anxiety is coming out of my ear holes, you know.
I'm off to do something you would never dream of doing. I'm gonna spend a couple of days on a traveller's site. I have to confess, I've got preconceived ideas about travellers.
Gypsies, you know, avoid them at all costs, you know. I've had a few moments with gypsies, you know. I've seen a few tear-ups with a few gypsies as well, but certainly don't go and sleep on a gypsy site. I mean, you know, could it be 100 things to do before you die? Go and kip on a gypsy site? I mean, there's not many people that have got to do it.
That's why I'm here, to challenge my prejudice.
Oh, I don't know what to expect.
And this is the guy that's putting me up. Paddy Doherty is a legend amongst the travellers. He's the governor of this site and one of their most respected bare fist fighters. It's a massive part of their culture that's been around for generations.
I thought it was better than 007. I thought, whoa, I'm the man. I am the man.
Among travelling people and fighting people, is the main man.
He's going to give me an insight into his world and that of the bare knuckle fighter. Knuckle fighting is a style of scrapping as old as fighting itself. It's the original form of boxing. Fights are often brutal encounters.
I would never look at the blood. Fucking bleeding. Fuck it, what can I do about it? Let it bleed away. I'll get stitched up there with it. It's only a lick of a wound. It's gonna heal.
Paddy's a Doherty, and that means one thing. He's been bred to fight.
Didn't give a fuck for no man. No matter what size he was, or how big, or how small. Didn't bother me.
Paddy's site's in Salford, Greater Manchester, on what looks like the outskirts of an industrial estate. What have I got myself into?
I am fucking shitting myself.
I can't back out now.
All right, here we go. Get on that. PD. Paddy Doherty. So this geezer clearly has a bit of clout. Now listen, listen. Any of yous at home, just do yourself a favour, all right? All right? Please, don't try this. It's a ridiculous idea. It's a ridiculous thing to do. Here we go, I'm in.
I'm stepping into another world, one that lives right next to us, one that few know much about. It's eerily quiet, and I want to find Paddy sharpish.
Oh, here we go, here we go. Couple of little lunatics here, look. Hello? I'm looking for Paddy Doherty. Do you know where Paddy Doherty is? Have you seen him? Is that where he lives, over there? Oh, OK, what, over there? Yeah? In the chalet. Is that where do you live? Just over there, do you? Hello, what are you doing? Kid there playing with a gas bottle, as you do. You OK? Now I'm starting to get the horrors now, a little bit. I feel a bit lost. Let's have a look up here. Is this where you live, up here? Just have a little look around. Where's Paddy? Is this Paddy? Is this the man? Paddy?
That's me, my man. Hey, my man. Hey, nice to meet you.
Absolute pleasure to meet you.
And you, likewise.
Thank you so much for letting me come on here, man. Just wanted to ask you how comes you've allowed me to walk on here with a camera, because I know, obviously, you know, travellers and stuff, you know, they're very keep yourself to
That's
yourself.
right,
And
yeah,
so, I mean,
yeah.
obviously, I appreciate that. I mean, I was just wondering why you've allowed me in. I mean,
Well, it lets you know what we are.
Yeah.
We're not meant out to be what we be. Fucking rubbish and this, that, that, what we're painted out to be. There's good and bad among everyone. But everyone, apparently with us, we're all painted with one brush.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, hey, there's good and bad among everyone.
Of course.
We're not little angels, we're far from that.
Yeah.
But we are people who help each other. That's the beauty about travellers. They let go out of the way to help each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're all close and you're
Yeah,
like unit.
all a click, yeah.
That's
all
what it's
one
about,
click,
innit? Yeah.
yeah. You know, if you've got a barney with someone, you know you can't win your barney, but you know you can beat him. You say, well, hold on, I'll ask Paddy Doherty, well, can he sort this one out for me?
I've just met this guy, and he's already straight into the fighting chat.
But it was a matter of honour. It's not that you wanted it. After a while, no, I don't need this. And you say, I'm going to get out of it. But you don't get out of it because you get your door knocks. Yeah. I'm 50 years of age. Even now, someone will knock my door.
Really?
Fuck it. I said, come on then. Waste time petting and coaxing. Fuck it, get it on. What can happen to you? Knocked out. End of story, innit? All my chin is all titanium. I've had my chin broken too, snap. I've had my 2 jaws broke. I've had my nose busted. But that's all relevant. You got to take that. You got waste time going in with it if you can't take it.
Absolutely.
And if you're bleeding from there, waste go, oh, I'm bleeding. Fuck that. You're bleeding. Get on with your life. Get on with your fight.
Honour of fighting. Broken jaws. This stuff isn't up my street at all. If he hit me, I'd probably snap in half. Coming up, I'll find out what travellers' bare fist fighting is all about.
I can eat you just like I'm eating a bar of chocolate, like I'm eating a Yorkie bar. Your nose, your eye, your lips, your ear, your neck, yeah. I'll eat you like a Rottweiler.
I'm in Salford, Greater Manchester, with legendary bare knuckle fighter, Paddy Doherty.
I thought it was better than 007. I thought, whoa, I'm the man. I am the man.
It was a stay that you could say I was a little bit nervous about.
I am fucking shitting myself.
I've entered a world that few of us, or country people as we're known to travellers, will ever get to see. I'm being taken on a tour of Paddy's place. He's already told me that traveller culture is rapidly changing, and they now have to live on permanent sites. But if you live here, you have to obey his rules.
No bullying, no bringing back scrap here and throwing it on the ground. Children's got to go to school. I tell you, look, get your child to school. If I tell you 3 or 4 times, it's like a scratch record, I'm going nowhere with you.
Yeah.
So penny will drop, get out, and you're off.
They look you in the eye and go, right, okay, this geezer means business.
I've had a tour of the manor, but I want to see where the king of the castle lives. Paddy's plot looks like a mini version of the White House, with its pillars and gated entrance. He lives here with his wife of 31 years, Roseanne. I get a brief introduction.
Pleasure to meet you. Complete pleasure.
Unlike her husband, she's a little camera shy. I'll have to try and collar her later. On the way in, I spot something that surprises me.
Got a bit of CCTV up here, I noticed, Pad.
Huh? Yeah.
Just in case anyone dares to try anything.
Okay,
Never gonna happen, though, is it?
But I find out it's for a very good reason.
Never
You say never happened? I got shot here, right here. That's where I got shot here, right in the door.
Paddy explains how one morning as he stepped outside his house with his young son at his side, he was confronted by a gunman.
And I walked straight to him. Bang, and he shot me. The bullet went through my skull and lodged over this way. I was in intensive care for a week or 2.
Oh, so now I understand why you got this going on there.
Yeah.
Because nothing's impossible, you know.
Nothing's impossible.
Paddy's coy about why it happened. All he'll say is that it was a family feud that had got out of hand. And things may have got worse had the man that wanted Paddy dead not taken his own life.
So much pressure was on him. He killed himself, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
So...
Well, respect for you, Pad, to even say that, even though the guy's put a hit on you and you're saying, look, God rest his soul. And,
God rest him again.
you know,
There must be something, no matter what, I wouldn't want to kill myself.
I can't help thinking, if you're going to try and kill Paddy, make sure you do it properly.
Come on in there, but that's yesterday's news, isn't it?
well, yeah. Well, look at this, What a gaff this is, look. What a plot. It's immaculate. Immaculate.
It's not it's my home, you know what I mean?
It's beautiful. Beautiful. Look at this. Oh, look, he's got a jukebox going on here. Look at this. Look, you've got to get on this. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Ah, it's classy. This is really homely.
Yeah.
You're really homely, you know?
I imagined camping stoves and sleeping bags. This place is more like a cross between Buckingham Palace and the lair of a Bond villain.
You got enough of these going on as well, haven't you, Pad? No one's coming on here without you knowing nothing.
The two-bedroom chalet was custom built to Roseanne's design.
Beautiful. Get on that. Look at that. Got enough pillars here, Pad, or what?
Yeah, that's the travelling women. They love all that.
Yeah,
all travelling women.
All women love a pillar.
Yeah.
After seeing this flashy pad, I'm excited about where I'm going to be sleeping tonight. Turns out I got the West Wing.
Honest to God, if I'm staying in a 5-star hotel,
Yeah.
there's nothing like my own place.
Yeah, no, of course. No, I love it. I love
You know, you can get up in the morning, honest to God, and I sit outside with a pair of boxer shorts,
Yeah.
and I drink a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And it's the loveliest feeling in the world, you know what I mean? Because you're looking at all travellers everywhere. It's like if you're in a house, you're bounded, you know, your walls everywhere around you.
Yeah, cool.
Don't get me wrong, it's a lovely thing, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
here, it's nice to open the door and you look at loads of travellers.
Yeah.
Don't make a difference what race they are.
Do you miss the travelling side of things? I mean, actually travelling around?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's dying out like dinosaurs now.
Is it?
All it is now is the sights now, really.
Although he's been settled on this site for 13 years, travelling's in his blood. Paddy was born here in Manchester to Irish parents and lived on traveller sites in London and Birmingham before settling here on this one. My accommodation might not be 5-star, but I have got a minibar.
This is bang on. What have we got in the fridge here? Go, look. Ah, look at that. Look. I'm looking forward to it in here. I'll tell you what, I'm away from my missus, away from my kids. All right, she knows I'm out working, but I'm going to have a nice jolly up here.
Something tells me it's going to be an interesting night.
I love his plot. What a gaff. What a gaff. Pisses all over my gaff, I'll tell you that now. And it's no word of a lie. Classy.
But the pleasantries are over, and Paddy now wants to tell me about his love for bare fist fighting. Bare knuckle fights are all about settling disputes. Anything from a loss of face to a business deal gone bad. Paddy's 39-year career has involved fighting and reffing.
You know what you call it true gladiators? When you see two boys bleeding severely, badly smashed,
just bump.
and they're just still hopping off each other.
Normally you're not allowed to headbutt then. It's just bump.
You're not allowed to do none of that.
None of that. Just stand
And if
up.
he falls,
Well, no kicking.
nothing. You can't kick, you can't bite, you can't.
If he falls, you wait for him to get up and you go again.
He can stay on the floor as long as he wants to. You've got to stand back and just wait till he gets up. But once his hand leaves that ground, you can go down under, bang, cough of this. You can make him do a back somersault. Once that hand leaves that ground, you can do him then.
I tell you what, I didn't know about none of this. I mean,
Yeah.
so this is another level, this is.
These fights with rules and refs are known as a fair go, and they only stop when one man gives in by what travellers call giving best. It means he's been beaten by the better man.
Is that a word you've ever used?
No.
Never.
No, and I wouldn't let my son, no way.
Never.
No. I could live with myself being knocked out, but I'd never live with myself to say I give best. No, I'd never look at me. I'd never look at my sons.
No, of course.
I wouldn't look at my wife. I wouldn't go to bed with my wife.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to bed with myself.
Yeah.
Wouldn't. Oh no, honestly, no. I truly couldn't live with that word.
But in traveller tradition, you can call on a more extreme fight, what's known as a dirty go. In this fight, there are no rules, and fighters do their best to disfigure their opponents. Biting is the weapon of choice.
I can eat you just like I'm eating a bar of chocolate, like I'm eating a Yorkie bar. Your nose, your eye, your lips, your hair, your neck. Yeah, I'll eat you like a Rockweiler. A lot of people bite you and spit you out. Years ago, I didn't believe it. I'd bite you and I'd swallow you. I used to swallow the flesh for fun. Fuck it, I'm swallowing you, and I'd sew that back on. Because you can pick it up and go to the hospital and get it sewed up back on, because the nerves are still in it. So you can sew it back on. Fuck it, I'll disfigure him because he won't come back to me.
All that come around, is that from a major feud, that? Is that like when two men just hate, there's no shaking of hand after that fight then?
You don't shake his hand, you just put your hand up, I am the man. You know what I mean, like that. You don't shake his hand. What don't you shake his hand for? I've just murdered him, I've just hit him. I've just let him know he's nothing. Matter of fact, when you have a dirt to go, you send a message to his family. That's what I can do with all of you. You know what I mean? And that's a sad way, isn't it? But that's where it's gone now.
What?
A lot of people...
But that's quite a rare thing, is that? A rare
Very
thing?
rare,
Very
yeah.
rare, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people like, nice fair go.
I mean, this geezer, and listen, I've met some dangerous people, but this man oozes man. He's a man's man. You know, he's old school, he's prehistoric, he's got morals, he's got, you know, his respect there. But listen, this is going back, we're going back to the 1700s, yeah? He looks straight in your eyes and he knows. He knows whether you're going to be all right and whether he's going to give you the time of day. And so I'm giving this geezer eye contact 100%, mate. I'm not dropping that eye contact once.
After all that fighting chat, Paddy and I have come down the gym so I can see it in practice. I know Paddy loves the fighting, but now I can see that he doesn't take his training lightly.
Unless you've got a massive dig and you can knock someone out immediately, you've got to take it seriously. So it's just obviously part of their culture. Being a boy, being a man, you know, you look after your family, you look after your kids, and you keep yourself in shape just in case you've got a feud on the go and you need to stand up and have it off. Just look at his feet. It knows exactly where that rope is at all times. It takes balance, technique. Not all about throwing big right-handers, see? There's a bit of grace involved.
But he's also got a punch like a freight train.
Powerhouse. 50 years of age, the geezer. Oh.
I meet Paddy's eldest son, Simon. He's a fighter like his dad, and I can't help but notice his ear. I thought he might have been on the receiving end of a dirty go, but actually it was bitten off in a nightclub.
And next thing you know, I've got a cloud there. I didn't know what happened. I went down, and when I went down, he followed me down, bit my ear off. And I've looked at my shoulder, and it was all blood in.
I hope we're not going there tonight. Simon's in training for a bare knuckle rematch. This is the first encounter in Scotland, where Simon in the red was challenged to a fight by another family. But the dispute wasn't settled, and so a rematch will take place in a week's time at Appleby Horse Fair, where I plan to go with Paddy. Simon's going to fight, despite the fact he's got a broken hand.
If you pull out now, people start thinking a bit different. And, like, don't get me wrong, I've got every excuse in the world because it's there. I've got fracture scans, everything on it.
Yeah, of course.
But it's not happening, no. I can close it. As you can see, if you look there, you got 4 or 5 good belts in there, innit? So if I land one, it should be all over anyway.
I love that. I've got 4 or 5 good belts in it. I mean, for fuck's sake. It's another level, this. Look at him.
Van Damme.
You savage.
I'm sure was. Would you like to meet him down an alleyway?
Intimidation.
Fuck that, nah.
Would you like to meet him down an alleyway?
Fancy a bit of that? Fucking sitting there in your fucking settees. Paddy's just getting changed now. I've didn't want to follow him in the older changing room, you know what I mean? He might get a bit funny with me. You know, I'm still breaking ground with him. But if he keeps on getting leery, all right? Fucking hell. Oh.
Paddy's a Man U fan, and with the Champions League final against Barcelona on tonight, we're off down the Boozer. On the way, I asked Paddy some more about the shooting that nearly killed him.
I swear on my life, and I mean this, I was in intensive care. My father came over to me, came down from London, and he pushed me back, he pushed my head like that, and he said to me, "Are you all right, my Patrick?" I said, "Oh man," I says, "my head will be all right in about 6 weeks," I says. "Will you go and sort a fight out for me and him?" I says. "Tell that that I want to fight him," I says. I said, "Please, old man," I said, "get the fight sorted out for me." I'm in intensive care, asking my old man to get a fight sorted out for me.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
You know what I mean, dear?
So your mind over matter totally. You're not even thinking about where you are.
Nah,
You're not thinking about intensive care. You're not thinking about anything other than the fact you can't wait to fucking stand up with this geezer.
I've suddenly realised that Paddy might actually be the Terminator. Lying in his hospital bed with a bullet in his head and still up for a fight, this guy's something else. Keeping up the family reputation seems more like a family obsession. Coming up, while having a quiet drink in Manchester, it all kicks off.
All right, let's calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down.
I'm with traveller, bare-knuckle boxer, and all-round hard man, Paddy Doherty. I've been staying on his site, and he's already told me some things that have left me speechless.
I can eat you just like I'm eating a bar of chocolate. Your nose, your eye, your lips.
Paddy's a Man United fan, and he's taken me down the boozer to watch them play against Barcelona in the European Cup final.
I'm in the right mad estate now, right? Now we've stayed away from the main bit, because I was going to get driven mad, right? Now he's took me to the maddest little boozer, right in the middle of an estate called the Clarendon, right? Now, just have a little look round. Go on, have a little pan. Now, have you ever seen so many lunatics in your fucking life? Thank fuck for Paddy. I feel confident walking in there. Cockney walking in here on a Man United game against Barcelona. I mean, this is like, we're going back to the old school. Please, Paddy, just fucking don't leave my side. Yeah.
I'm going in. Wish me luck. Everyone seems pleased to see me, but I'm still glad Paddy and Simey have got my back. For a West Ham fan, this is my worst nightmare. But as they say, when in Rome. To add to my surreal night, X Factor winner Shane Wald walks in. Apparently he's related to Paddy, and that's when it starts to get a bit hectic. The game's over, and United in bare-knuckle parlance have been well and truly bet. As we spill out onto the street, the festive mood has turned ugly, and the crowd are looking for someone to beat on.
But hey, mate, get out. I'll blow you up.
When you're the toughest guy in the pub, sometimes people try and prove themselves. There's a scuffle, and while Paddy stares them down, his brother Martin tells us to leave before it kicks off.
Get your fucking arms, we'll go to smooth up. A lot of fools here.
We'll do this code then.
As Paddy disappears into the crowd, the production team decide that we should get out of here.
Okay, all right, let's calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down.
I'm a bit rattled. It's been a mad evening. Paddy's told me to go back to his and wait for him. The one thing I've learned about Paddy in the last few hours is that he can look after himself. Arriving back at the site, I find myself on my own. This is my worst nightmare. The guy that's meant to be looking after me has done a runner, and I've got no idea where he is.
I'm digi as fuck. Don't know why, because I thought I was in safe hands. I'm just hoping that Paddy's going to welcome me with open arms. Where is he? Where is the geezer? Where is he?
I've tried calling Paddy, but there's no answer on his phone. It's 2 a.m. and there's still no sign of him. I've had a couple of beers and I'm beginning to feel a little bit better about the situation. So I'm going to hit the sack.
What tomorrow brings, I haven't got a clue. After today, I'm absolutely ready for anything. I'm hoping, I've not had nothing to eat all day and all. There's been no dinner. None of that dinner cake, but I don't have dinner. Hopefully there's going to be a nice bit of breakfast in the morning. If there ain't, I'll suffer it. I'm not going to moan about it. I've had a couple of beers, it's gone to me nut a little bit, and I just think get your nut down and just, try and regroup for tomorrow. I'm hoping Paddy's not going to, well, listen, it's like stupid o'clock now, so I'm sure Paddy's not going to be up at like 6, 7, well, I don't know. I don't know whether Paddy's going to just drag me out of here and whack me on an horse. I don't know what the vibe is tomorrow, I don't know. So at this point, I haven't got a clue what tomorrow holds. I just think, get your nut down and bring it on. Fucking hell.
I drop off to sleep to the sound of Paddy's family sparring outside my caravan. What a mad day. It's morning, and despite the hangover, I'm up early.
Well, surprisingly, I had a lovely kip. Not a bad little caravan, that is. Don't know what happened to Paddy last night. I heard some sort of commotion when he came back. I don't know what time he rolled in. But I'm going to go and see what he's up.
Take me, come here.
How are you, sunshine?
Last time I saw Paddy, we were right in the thick of it, and I did a runner back here.
You like a cup of coffee? Tell you what.
I'd love a nice little cheeky cup of tea, Pad, if that's possible.
No problem, I'll get it now, huh? What's on? Make a cup of tea here. Right then.
I want to know where he disappeared to.
So did you end up on a mad one then, Pad, yeah? We had a couple more beers somewhere else.
Yeah, we went down to another pub. It was good crack. Fucking packed it was.
Was it?
Packed, yeah. Good crack. We left it.
It just got a bit manic, didn't it, last night? You know, when Shane turned up, we just got manic.
It went divvy, didn't it?
Oh, mate.
So after all the commotion last night, it turns out that Paddy and Simon just went to another boozer and forgot all about me. I've just found out Paddy never takes his phone out, so no wonder I couldn't get hold of him.
Woman!
She all right? She's sweet? She's good today, is she?
She's all right. Yeah.
Good.
Simon, is your wife good today? Say, yeah, she's all right. Roseanne, your man asked, are you good today?
I guess feminism hasn't quite reached Paddy's trailer. This is all a bit surreal, sitting here drinking tea out of Waterford China cups, especially after all the madness from yesterday. After 31 years of marriage, it's no wonder Paddy and Roseanne have developed a bit of teasing banter.
Since I married her, I got tortured, you know what I mean? Now, you ever heard that one, for better, for worse? Well, mine was for worse. It wasn't for better, it's for worse all the time. Oh, do you know that one, sickness and health? Mine's been sick since I married, you know what I mean? If I could put the clock back, it wouldn't happen. I'd say, you're the weakest link. Get. Huh?
You always have to put up with this, do you?
Yeah. I'm used to it now. I just let it go over my head.
Yeah, God. You know, she could put a tracker inside me. Not like you can put a chip in the dog.
Yeah.
She'd put a chip inside me. Where she knows where I am, you know what I mean?
You're the biggest liar that I ever seen in my life. You really are. An exaggerator and a liar.
Her family didn't like him at first, but now he seems very pleased that they've changed their minds.
But her brothers wasn't too amused for me.
No.
And yet, they told them I'm their favourite brother-in-law now.
Oh, really?
Honestly, yeah. Oh, the daughters, you're going to have a hard life and this, that, that. I turned it all the way around. I have the hard life. I have the dog's life. I have a proper dog's life.
Oh,
I'm
you
tortured.
liar.
I think Paddy's banter may be for my benefit, but they do enjoy each other's company.
I love it. I love the banter.
And I wonder what Roseanne thinks about the fighting which plays such a part of the life of her man.
What do you make of all the fighting, like?
Yeah. It's a bad thing. It really is.
You're just saying you've got to accept it, I suppose, isn't it?
I say, she has to accept it, like it or not. There's nothing she can do about it.
No choice, but still, I'd rather it didn't happen.
Yeah, of course, I can imagine. You're constantly worried when they're out, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
She's not saying much, but I reckon if she had any say in it, they wouldn't be fighting. And when I asked Paddy about his tattoos, I'm surprised to hear about how much tragedy the two of them have lived through.
My Patrick, he died at 18. Him and my brother, Martin. Our two older sons got killed together.
In a car accident, yeah?
Yeah. That's my youngest boy, my Martin Tom. One up here is my young girl who's dead, Elizabeth. One here, up here. That's Mary Bridget, she's dead. That's my daughter, Margaret. That's my brother, Francie. He died, God rest him. My mum, my dad. And that's it, really. They're all dead people.
Tribal ones as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I like, you know, and that's my wife and my daughter. I've only got one girl.
I got you.
I mean, but that's it, really, you know.
Roseanne and Paddy had 10 kids, but 5 of them have died. They lost 4 girls as babies, and their eldest son, Patrick, aged 18. It's no wonder Roseanne doesn't like her family fighting.
Yeah, he's obviously lost a lot of people, Paddy, you know. To lose your boy at 18. You know, I couldn't even contemplate. I got kids myself, and it's just horrendous. You know? Let's just get on with it, you know. It's just a part of being a traveller, I think.
The site's coming to life, and Paddy shows me more of the place, and we meet some of the residents.
I like the fact no one gets up early here, even the kids.
You saw me get up there.
Yeah, it's good, that nice little vibe, you know.
Yeah? What?
Maybe it's the hangover, but Paddy's in a reflective mood and wants to teach me more about his family.
Do you remember my boy who told you he got killed? That's him there. He's my owner. He was called after me, Patrick.
So he would have been like 32 now, would he? Something like that.
He'd be 30 now.
He's 30 now, yeah.
You know what I mean? A good-looking man, wasn't he?
Yeah, very good looking. All your boys are good looking, aren't they, to be honest with you?
He could rock that fella. He could fight that fella.
Yeah.
Honest to God. Not because he was my son.
Yeah.
He could definitely move on.
Yeah.
I'm now seeing a whole other side to Paddy. Yesterday it was all about the fighting, but now I can see a sensitive family man who's passionate about where he came from.
What's this?
Remember I was telling you about all travellers has little altars and like all sacred things, like the Sacred Heart and Our Blessed Lady and that. And what it does, it makes the elders feel comfortable when they've got holy pictures and that around them.
Oh, of course, just a little bit there.
Yeah. And you just bless your face in the morning, say thank you God for this day you put in front of me.
Paddy's a devout Catholic and goes to Mass every Sunday. Religion is a very important part of the traveller life. The closeness of family and community is very evident here. There are kids and animals everywhere, but parents are never far away. While Roseanne delivers the mail, we cautiously wander around the site, and I'm introduced to another Doherty, Paddy's horse.
Who's your daddy, it's called? I think I'm going to be jumping on the back of it.
The closest I've ever been to horses is down the bookies, but I'm not sure about the real thing. When we get back to Paddy's plot, it looks like the residents have been busy. They've got some kit together for my horse ride. It's called a Silky, and according to Paddy, it's the Ferrari of the travelling world. As the men get things sorted, I get a grilling from the kids.
Where do you live? In a big house?
And me?
You live in a big house?
Not a big house, no. I live in a house, though.
Are you a football player?
No, I'm an actor.
I think he's a bit disappointed. Standing here surrounded by parents, children and animals, I can see why Paddy loves his lifestyle so much.
This is their little world, you know? It's their own little community. I love it. It don't matter what goes on out there, you know? It's not important. What's important is what goes on in here. And you can tell there's just a lot of love. Everyone just, you know... Everyone's there for each other. Everyone knows each other.
Like the fighting Paddy's told me about, this lifestyle is straightforward and uncomplicated in comparison to the distractions of the outside world. Although some things look a little too uncomplicated.
Oh, look at that wheel there, look at that. I don't fancy getting on that. Do not fancy that at all. Look at the wheel. What's happened to that pad? Fucking hell.
My son took this out driving and he must have...
He must have been fucking ripping the arse out of it.
Yeah, he bashed it and that was my other son and he never even told us, you know what I mean? No. Just get a pair and walk here with. Come on.
Well, just jump on, yeah?
Yeah, get on there.
Daddy, can we get
Here, walk on.
As with most things with Paddy, I don't really have much choice.
That wheel's going to go, innit?
Yeah, nah, we'll only walk only to there and back.
Should we do it? Whoa, whoa.
Actually, I don't mind it, but I don't think I'll be taking this back down the M6 to London. Especially with that wheel.
Ah, no, I'll tell you what, that's beautiful, mate.
I'm saying goodbye to Paddy and Roseanne and heading back to London, but not for long.
Thank you so much.
I've been invited to the Appleby horse fair next weekend, so I can experience what the old travelling days were like. And to be honest, I'm quite excited. His son Simon has been challenged to a fight there. It looks like it's going to be an interesting weekend.
I need to regroup before I get to Appleby because I know that Appleby, that's another level, mate. But I'm excited about it. You know, listen, I can never really feel nervous when I'm around Paddy because, you know, I'm very protective and he's, you know, you feel safe around him. So, bring it on.
Coming up, I get a very real traveller experience.
Well, you get run over by one of these horses, it's your own fault, mate. Well, of course, absolutely.
Well, my son's here to fight, end of story.
I'm with traveller, bare knuckle boxer, and all-round hard man, Paddy Doherty. I've been staying on his site, and he's already told me some things that have left me speechless.
I can eat you just like I'm eating a bar of chocolate. Your nose, your eye, your lips.
Paddy's a Man United fan, and he's taken me down the boozer to watch them play against Barcelona in the European Cup final.
I'm in the right mad estate now, right? Now we've stayed away from the main bit, because I was going to get driven mad, right? Now he's took me to the maddest little boozer, right, in the middle of an estate called the Clarendon, right? Now, just have a little look round. Go on, have a little pan. Now, have you ever seen so many lunatics in your fucking life? Thank fuck for Paddy. I feel confident walking in there. Cockney walking in here on a Man United game against Barcelona. I mean, this is like, we're going back to the old school. Please, Paddy, just fucking don't leave my side. Yeah.
I'm going in. Wish me luck. Everyone seems pleased to see me, but I'm still glad Paddy and Simey have got my back. For a West Ham fan, this is my worst nightmare. But as they say, when in Rome. To add to my surreal night, X Factor winner Shane Wald walks in. Apparently he's related to Paddy. And that's when it starts to get a bit hectic. The game's over, and United in bare knuckle parlance have been well and truly bet. As we spill out onto the street, the festive mood has turned ugly, and the crowd are looking for someone to beat on.
But hey, mate, get out. I'll blow you up.
When you're the toughest guy in the pub, sometimes people try and prove themselves. There's a scuffle, and while Paddy stares them down, his brother Martin tells us to leave before it kicks off.
Get your fucking ass, we've got to smuggle up. A lot of fools here.
We'll do this code then.
As Paddy disappears into the crowd, the production team decide that we should get out of here.
Okay, all right. Let's calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down.
I'm a bit rattled. It's been a mad evening. Paddy's told me to go back to his and wait for him. The one thing I've learned about Paddy in the last few hours is that he can look after himself. Arriving back at the site, I find myself on my own. This is my worst nightmare. The guy that's meant to be looking after me has done a runner, and I've got no idea where he is.
I'm digi as fuck. Don't know why, because I thought I was in safe hands. I'm just hoping that Paddy's going to welcome me with open arms. Where is he? Where is the geezer? Where is he?
I've tried calling Paddy, but there's no answer on his phone. It's 2 a.m. and there's still no sign of him. I've had a couple of beers and I'm beginning to feel a little bit better about the situation. So I'm going to hit the sack.
What tomorrow brings, I haven't got a clue. After today, I'm absolutely ready for anything. I'm hoping, I've not had nothing to eat all day and all. There's been no dinner. None of that dinner cake, but I don't have dinner. Hopefully there's going to be a nice bit of breakfast in the morning. If there ain't, I'll suffer it. I'm not going to moan about it. Had a couple of beers, it's gone to me nut a little bit, and I just think get your nut down and just, try and regroup for tomorrow. I'm hoping Paddy's not going to, well, listen, it's like stupid o'clock now, so I'm sure Paddy's not going to be up at like 6, 7, well, I don't know. I don't know whether Paddy's going to just drag me out of here and whack me on an horse. I don't know what the vibe is tomorrow, I don't know. So at this point, I haven't got a clue what tomorrow holds. I just think, get your nut down and bring it on. Fucking hell.
I drop off to sleep to the sound of Paddy's family sparring outside my caravan. What a mad day. It's morning, and despite the hangover, I'm up early.
Well, surprisingly, I had a lovely kip. Not a bad little caravan, that is. Don't know what happened to Paddy last night. I heard some sort of commotion when he came back. I don't know what time he rolled in. But I'm going to go and see what he's up.
Set me, come here.
How are you, sunshine?
Last time I saw Paddy, we were right in the thick of it, and I did a runner back here.
You like a cup of coffee, tea or what?
I'd love a nice little cheeky cup of tea, Pad, if that's possible.
No problem, I'll get it now, huh? What's on? Make a cup of tea here. Right then.
I want to know where he disappeared to.
Did you end up on a mad one then, Pad, yeah? We went and had a couple more beers somewhere else.
Yeah, we went down to another pub. It was good crack. Fucking packed it was.
Was it?
Packed, yeah. Good crack. We left it.
It just got a bit manic, didn't it, last night? You know, when Shane turned up, we just got manic.
It went divvy, didn't it?
Oh, mate.
So after all the commotion last night, it turns out that Paddy and Simey just went to another boozer and forgot all about me. I've just found out Paddy never takes his phone out, so no wonder I couldn't get hold of him.
Woman!
She's all right, she's sweet. She's good today, is she?
She's all right. Yeah.
Good.
Simey, is your wife good today? Say, yeah, she's all right. Roseanne, your man asked, are you good today?
I guess feminism hasn't quite reached Paddy's trailer. This is all a bit surreal, sitting here drinking tea out of Waterford China cups, especially after all the madness from yesterday. After 31 years of marriage, it's no wonder Paddy and Roseanne have developed a bit of teasing banter.
Since I'm married, I got tortured, you know what I mean? Now, you ever heard that one, for better, for worse? Well, mine was for worse. It wasn't for better, it's for worse all the time. Oh, do you know that one, the sickness and health? Mine's been sick since I'm married, you know what I mean? If I could put the clock back, it wouldn't happen. I'd say, you're the weakest link. Yeah. Huh?
You always have to put up with this, do you?
Yeah. I'm used to it now. I just let it go over my head.
Yeah, God. You know, she could put a tracker inside me. Not like you can put a chip in the dog.
Yeah.
She'd put a chip inside me. Where she knows where I am, you know what I mean?
You're the biggest liar that I ever seen in my life. You really are. An exaggerator and a liar.
Her family didn't like him at first, but now he seems very pleased that they've changed their minds.
But her brothers wasn't too amused for me.
No.
And yet, they told them I'm their favourite brother-in-law now.
Oh, really?
Honestly, yeah. Oh, the daughters, you're going to have a hard life and this, that, that. I turned it all the way around. I have the hard life. I have the dog's life. I have a proper dog's life.
Oh,
I'm
you
tortured.
liar.
I think Paddy's banter may be for my benefit, but they do enjoy each other's company.
I love it, I love the banter.
And I wonder what Roseanne thinks about the fighting which plays such a part of the life of her man.
What do you make of all the fighting, like?
Yeah. It's a bad thing. It really is.
You're just saying you've got to accept it, I suppose, isn't it?
I say, she has to accept it, like it or not. There's nothing she can do about it.
No choice, but still, I'd rather it didn't happen.
Yeah, of course, I can imagine. I mean, you're constantly worried when they're out, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
She's not saying much, but I reckon if she had any say in it, they wouldn't be fighting. And when I asked Paddy about his tattoos, I'm surprised to hear about how much tragedy the two of them have lived through.
My Patrick, he died at 18. Him and my brother, Martin. Our two older sons got killed together.
In a car accident, yeah?
Yeah. That's my youngest boy, my Martin Tom. One up here is my young girl who's dead, Elizabeth. One here, up here. That's Mary Bridget, she's dead. That's my daughter, Margaret. That's my brother, Francie. He died, God rest him. My mum, my dad. And that's it, really. It's all dead people.
Tribal ones as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I like, you know, and that's my wife and my daughter. I've only got one girl. I mean, but that's it, really, you know.
Roseanne and Paddy had 10 kids, but 5 of them have died. They lost 4 girls as babies, and their eldest son, Patrick, aged 18. It's no wonder Roseanne doesn't like her family fighting.
Yeah, he's obviously lost a lot of people, Paddy, you know. To lose your boy at 18. You know, I couldn't even contemplate. I got kids myself, and it's just horrendous. And let's just get on with it, you know. It's just a part of being a traveller, I think.
The site's coming to life, and Paddy shows me more of the place, and we meet some of the residents.
I like the fact no one gets up earlier, even the kids.
You saw me getting up there.
Yeah, it's good, that nice little vibe, you know.
Yeah? What?
Maybe it's the hangover, but Paddy's in a reflective mood and wants to teach me more about his family.
Do you remember my boy who told you he got killed? That's him there. He's my own. He was called after me, Patrick.
So he would have been like 32 now, would he? Something like that.
He'd be 30 now.
He's 30 now, yeah.
You know what I mean? A good looking man, wasn't he?
Yeah, very good. All your boys are good looking, aren't they? To be honest with you.
He could rock that fella. He could fight that fella.
Yeah.
Honest to God. Not because he was my son.
Yeah.
He could definitely move on.
Yeah.
I'm now seeing a whole other side to Paddy. Yesterday it was all about the fighting, but now I can see a sensitive family man who's passionate about where he came from.
What's this?
Remember I was telling you about All Travellers has little altars and like all sacred things, like the Sacred Heart and Our Blessed Lady and that. Yeah. And what it is, it makes the elders feel comfortable when they've got holy pictures and that around them.
Oh, of course, just a little bit there.
Yeah. And you just bless your face in the morning to say, thank you, God, for this day you put in front of me.
Paddy's a devout Catholic and goes to Mass every Sunday. Religion is a very important part of the traveller life. The closeness of family and community is very evident here. There are kids and animals everywhere. But parents are never far away. While Roseanne delivers the mail, we cautiously wander around the site, and I'm introduced to another dockety, Paddy's horse.
Who's your daddy, it's called. I think I'm going to be jumping on the back of it.
The closest I've ever been to horses is down the bookies, but I'm not sure about the real thing. When we get back to Paddy's plot, it looks like the residents have been busy. They've got some kit together for my horse ride. It's called a Silky, and according to Paddy, it's the Ferrari of the travelling world. As the men get things sorted, I get a grilling from the kids.
Where do you live? In a big house?
And me?
You live in a big house?
Not a big house, no. I live in an house, though.
Are you a football player?
No, I'm an actor.
I think he's a bit disappointed. Standing here surrounded by parents, children and animals, I can see why Paddy loves his lifestyle so much.
This is their little world, you know? It's their own little community. I love it. It don't matter what goes on out there, you know? It's not important. What's important is what goes on in here. And you can tell there's just a lot of love. Everyone just, you know... Everyone's there for each other. Everyone knows each other.
Like the fighting Paddy's told me about, this lifestyle is straightforward and uncomplicated in comparison to the distractions of the outside world. Although some things look a little too uncomplicated.
Oh, look at that wheel there, look at that. I don't fancy getting on that. Do not fancy that at all. Look at the wheel. What's happened to that pad? Fucking hell.
My son took this out driving and he must have...
He must have been fucking ripping the arse out of it.
Yeah, he bashed it and that was my other son and he never even told us, you know what I mean? No. Just get a pair and walk out with it.
Well, just jump on, yeah?
Yeah, get on there.
Daddy, can we get
Sure, walk on.
As with most things with Paddy, I don't really have much choice.
That wheel's going to go, innit?
Yeah, nah, we'll only walk only today and back.
Should we do it? Whoa, whoa.
Actually, I don't mind it. But I don't think I'll be taking this back down the M6 to London. Especially with that wheel.
Ah, no, I'll tell you what, that's beautiful, mate.
I'm saying goodbye to Paddy and Roseanne and heading back to London, but not for long.
Thank you so much.
I've been invited to the Appleby horse fair next weekend, so I can experience what the old travelling days were like. And to be honest, I'm quite excited. His son Simon has been challenged to a fight there. It looks like it's going to be an interesting weekend.
I need to regroup before I get to Appleby because I know that Appleby, that's another level, mate. But I'm excited about it. You know, listen, I can never really feel nervous when I'm around Paddy because, you know, I'm very protective and he's, you know, you feel safe around him. So, bring it on.
Coming up, I'll get a very real traveller experience.
Well, you get run over by one of these horses, it's your own fault, mate. Well, of course, absolutely.
Well, my son's here to fight, end of the story.
It's been a week since I'd left Paddy and his site in Manchester, and it was certainly a couple of days I'll never forget. I've seen the way that many travellers live today, and to be fair, it didn't involve much travelling. So I'm heading back up north to see Paddy again, only this time he's been on the move. He's loaded up his mobile caravan and is spending the weekend at the Appleby Horse Fair, which is one of Europe's largest travelling community get-togethers.
Are you going to Scarborough Fair?
Now, I've been to a few fairs before, but I don't think this one's going to be all tombolas and cake competitions, if you know what I mean.
If you're a gypsy, this is the place to be. It happens every year. It's about the horses, it's about trading horses. Some of these horses, they go for like silly money. Paddy was talking about it before. The horse right there. Now, if you imagine, right? Every gypsy, all the clans, all the different families, this is where they all congregate. This is where they all come. They don't necessarily know each other. I'm sure there's disputes and things that go on. It's about the horses, but I'm sure there's other little things that go on left and right you don't not quite aware of.
And one of these things is Paddy's son, Siamese planned bare knuckle fight. But first, I've got to find Paddy.
Paddy, hello son.
Hey, my man.
How are you, mate? Lovely to see you. Lovely to
likewise,
see you. How you doing, boys? Lovely, Danny. Good to meet you.
Cousin of mine.
Good to meet you.
My
Pleasure.
nephew.
How are you, brother? You all right? Cosmetic here, isn't it?
Fucking good, innit?
Ah, it's madness.
Beautiful, innit? What do you think?
Oh, some horses
told you
here as
buzz
well,
up,
isn't it?
innit?
Yeah, no, it's mad. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. I've never seen so many horses in my life.
Nice seeing you, brother.
I can tell straight away that Paddy's a big face in the travelling community.
I think you know most of the people here anyway, don't you? It seems like everyone seems to know you, Pad, anyway.
I meet Paddy's old man and a few others.
Good to meet you.
Mind Dave.
Hello, mate. How you doing, son? You all right?
We only stop for a moment and suddenly we're surrounded.
People here.
I'm lost in a sea of travellers. It's mayhem. It feels like I've been introduced to everyone.
How you doing, Ronnie? You all right?
Siamese here and he's waiting for his fight.
So you're taped up and ready to go, yeah? So
Yeah.
when it goes, it goes.
He's different from when I met him on the site. He's quiet and he's clearly pumped up. Paddy explains that the fight will take place in a field. Now I've seen that the police are here, and so I ask him if he's worried that they might try and stop him.
What about the old bill side of things then?
Oh, but no bill won't matter. As long as they're on that field there, they don't give a fuck.
Oh, they stay away, yeah?
That's it, stay, because you know it's a traveller's tradition, and it's a traveller's fight, you know what I mean?
And it's fair.
Fair fight. One goes down, let him back up. There's no kicking, no bite, none of that. Just a nice fair fight, 1-to-1, end of story.
Siamese fight's meant to be at 1 o'clock, so to kill some time, Paddy takes me to soak up some traveller culture.
Good vibe here, a lot of people, a lot of dangerous people here and all. But they're all well behaved, they're gentlemen. As much as I feel a bit digi, I'm all right. Good people, you know.
In fact, it's not the people I have to worry about, it's the horses.
Nah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful, eh? Is that the bollocks, isn't it? Eh?
God, he's giving it that, and he's flat out.
Paddy's showing me something called the trots. This is the business side of things.
Whoa, yeah.
If you're selling a horse, you ride it up and down this road, usually as fast as you can to show it off to potential buyers.
Isn't that lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. No saddle or nothing.
No.
There's no barriers, no health and safety officers. It feels like I've walked into the middle of the Grand National.
Tell you what, well, yeah. Listen, we're actually, you know, you make your own choice if you stand in this road. You get run over by one of these horses, it's your own fault, mate. This is where they show, you know what I mean? This is the show, they show. But they fucking, no, give it. They're pulling that horse, mate, to the extreme. Just do a couple of clumps, you're like that, whee! See what I mean?
Go, yeah?
Brown bread, mate, get hit by one of them. I've never seen nothing like it, Paddy, in my life. I've never seen nothing like it before in my life, mate.
That's the traveller's nose, remember saying it?
Oh, man, this is it, man. This is the fucking life of the travellers. This is it, so I'm going to get a taste of it.
It's coming up to 1 o'clock and we head back to see Simon.
Yeah, we were just saying.
He's been waiting 2 hours and his opponent still hasn't shown up.
Not win a fight. Well, my son's here to fight, end of the story. He's had his fucking phone call saying your man's waiting to fight you. Your man's not here. Put his tail between his legs. My son is here to fight and my son is the winner. Yeah, without even fighting you, John. Your son is a winner before you start. It's bred in us. we're winners.
Go on the boy. Go on the boy.
You know, in the story, that's it then, you know what I mean?
With no opponent to fight, Siamese won by default. I'm kind of glad that I'm not going to see anyone get hurt, but Siamese not happy about it.
6 months living in the gym for this. 6 poxy months. Doing things by the book, as they say, innit? Fuck it up.
So it's another win for the Dohertys, and we head down to the village pub. We've attracted quite a few followers.
Look behind you.
I hope Paddy's buying.
Every time I turn around, there's 100 people following us, you know what I mean?
Every national
Despite the fact that they've won, Paddy and Siamese aren't celebrating much. I get the feeling they see it as a hollow victory.
Just a shame that you got your victory without fighting. It's a nice thing to have a fight, not win a fight without fucking
No,
fighting.
no, of course not.
You're a man, you feel like a real man when you fight a man and beat a man. Win, lose, or draw, if a man gets bet, he's still a good man.
Yeah.
Any man who can fight,
Yeah.
he's still a good man. My son is Paddy Doherty, he won his fight. My son bet him once, and he bet him this time again without him fighting. You're sausage. And look at yourself, sausage.
Fucking sausage.
You're walking stick.
I shouldn't laugh, I'm not meant to laugh. I'm meant to be...
Thanks to the no-show, I've learnt more about bare knuckle fighting culture than if I'd seen the fight. The worst thing you can do is not show up.
Would it been Appleby fair? You've got to go for your friend, for your family, of
course,
for your son,
For your honour, for your name.
your name, your brothers, your father, your sons. You have to go, even if you can't fight.
And every man is as good as his father's name, no matter what name it is. Quinn McDonough, Ward, Harris, Cash, Dawn, Rooney, Doherty. To me, there's no better name than my father's name. There's no better name than my brother's father's name. It's your father's name is.
For the Dohertys and the Travellers, fighting is as much about upholding the pride and honour of your family name as it is swapping blows. When I first told people I was going to spend some time with a Traveller family, I was told I was mad. You know what? I was really worried.
I've learned a lot about the way travellers live. You know, it's not what you expect at all. I think they get a bad press, to be honest with you, but they're all about family, staying together, and I love the idea of that, you know.
Paddy's been a great host.
You know what? I've grown quite attached to him. You know, I have. I didn't think I would.
The Appleby Horse Fair has been an experience, one that I'll never forget. But for now, I think it's time for me to head home to the relative calm of East London.
So I'd like to just drink me lager now and have a relax. I'm causing a little bit of attention being here. Just I don't think any of them are clock me. I don't think any of them know who I am. Let's just have a little look. That's what I'm dealing with. And that's hard work. That's living dangerously. Sweet as.
Bare knuckle boxers, gangsters, drug dealers. I mean, you wouldn't want to stay around there, would you? Well, guess what? I got an invite. I'm moving in with some of the country's most dangerous men, so we can find out how they sleep at night. And judging by this mob, there's gonna be tears before bedtime.
Sometimes it feels like the television and newspapers are full of nothing else.
Tonight, another shooting, another victim.
Two teenagers have been stabbed to death.
It's the latest in a series of shootings and stabbings in the
It seems to me that violent street crime has hit a crisis point.
Now, are the streets really awash with guns and knives?
Yet another murder scene in Brixton. It ended with an 18-year-old being stabbed to death.
I've got 2 daughters, a 13-year-old and a 2-year-old. I'm going to try and find out what kind of Britain they're going to be growing up in.
I'm going to spend a few days on the streets of Brixton to see if all the Daily Mail headlines are true. And I'm moving in with a former gangster with a rap sheet that reads like something from an Eminem lyric. Mugger, bank robber, crack dealer, you name it, he's done it.
Until just a few years ago, he was right in the thick of it. I mean, he was part of one of Brixton's most feared gangs.
I'm not meeting just another hoodie. Elijah Kerr was the top boy of the PDC, the Dem Crew.
PDC was known for like robbing, probably drug dealing, and a few other things. It was kind of feared.
Some people feared us, some people loved us, some people hated us. It was just a crazy feeling.
Elijah was a boy of 12 when his career of violent crime began.
I might like went to a shop, robbed someone, kicked him, hit him in his head. That would be normal to me. If you get him away, then you're gonna get kicking or something. Because if I get caught, I'm going to prison. So don't get him away.
This whole hoodie generation thing frightens the life out of me. I don't understand it. Coming from where I come from, there was gangs around, but never to this level.
I thought that Black Scarface, and all my friends was with me, and they was doing the same things. They thought they was Black Scarfaces also. We've got like 10 black kids that think they're Black Scarfaces.
I don't really quite know whether I'm going to have any sort of connection with this guy at all. I don't know. I mean, it's another world for me.
I've no idea what this is going to be like or what's going to happen. But I want to know more about life on the streets of Britain today.
How does someone end up as a gang leader by the age of 15? And why do you choose this gangster life? A life that for most doesn't last that long.
And it's at a makeshift memorial for another young life lost that I've arranged to meet Elijah. Just a mile or so from where he lives, flowers and tributes lie for the most recent young victim of a fatal stabbing. Reading the messages makes me think just how pointless all these deaths are. It's not long before Elijah arrives, and he's not alone.
Cut the pals right round him, didn't expect that, thought he would have been on his jack. And he said that, ex-gang leader, what'd you expect? How you doing, bruv?
Yeah, nice to meet you, bruv.
Pleasure, man, thanks for coming to see me.
He introduces me to Maddox and Michael, both former members of the PDC.
Oh, this is a bit strong, it's first meeting with you.
Yeah, boy. Normal, isn't it? You see that everywhere, like you see that on lampposts, on the street corners, that's just normal now. Like, I think before people would have been, that would have been shocking before, but now it's just like, people probably walk past this every day and it's nothing.
A 16-year-old was stabbed to death at this spot just 1 week before I made this film.
That could have been me there. That could be any of us here. That could have been me right there. I'm saying those flowers could be for me. We've been in fights like that where that could have been, I could have got stabbed like that, or something could happen. I could have got shot in the head or something. Like, people was getting stabbed and shot, but it wasn't as highlighted as it is now. Like I remember someone getting shot back in the days, and it wasn't the news. Only we knew about it. Like it was just like a normal thing. Like, he got shot, alright.
Okay.
Before I was gonna die around the 24, 25 years old. I thought I was gonna die around that age. So like, I'm gonna go to prison, probably come out, have like 4 more years to live. That was my attitude.
It's a mad mentality to
that
have to accept death.
That was my attitude. And I decided to say, you know what? Fuck the system. Fuck everyone. I don't care about no one. Fuck it.
It's hard to get my head around what he's telling me. He didn't seem to care about anything. Accepting that you're going to die in your 20s. How on earth did he get like that? It looks like I might not get a chance to get to know Elijah Kerr. I've not even been with him for an hour, and he and his 2 former gang members are stopped by the police.
So I've obviously just met up with Elijah. I've not been with him for more than, well, not even half hour yet. I'm following him around, and he's been tagged. Got a couple of chaps around him. The old Bill have pulled him already. Oh, shit. Well, another old Bill motor's turned up. I don't know what's going on here. It's a nightmare.
It makes me think, am I staying under the same roof as a former gangster, or an active one?
I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping it's all going to be sweet. I hope he ain't got about fucking 20 guns in his motors. We're fucked. Fucking hell.
deep in the heart of Brixton, South London. Living with Elijah Kerr, one of the town's most notorious former gangsters. I just don't understand the hoodie generation, so I'm here to find out how the gangster fantasy has become a reality. Getting involved in a dangerous and deadly lifestyle isn't my idea of fun.
I remember someone getting shot back in the days, and it wasn't on the news. Only we knew about it, like it was just like a normal thing, like, he got shot, alright?
He says he's a reformed character, but I'm not so sure. Because less than an hour after meeting him, he and two of his former gang members, who he was driving with, have been stopped by the old Bill.
I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping it's all going to be sweet. I hope he ain't got about fucking 20 guns in his motor. We're fucked. I'm just glad I'm not sitting in their motor. Usually I'll be driving about or something, but we decided to take the other car. Thank fuck.
There are 3 police cars and 5 officers. I think this might be serious.
Why do you think lady come? She'll come.
Because
right
this
there.
car's being driven illegally. This gentleman hasn't got a driving licence, and that means he hasn't got a lot of insurance.
That's no need for that. Always got something to say all the time.
It's a tense situation. The banter isn't friendly.
Just because they know us, they say this happens all the time. Saying.
I was going to say, I've been with you 20 minutes.
Exactly,
it's on you already.
There you go.
Got more old Bill and all. Anything else? Bang on us.
Necessary.
That's why I don't need anything out of this car.
All the cars that we own, they're high risk, so they're known for like drugs, guns and all that. So obviously we get stopped all the time.
They've not found any drugs or guns, but Maddox, who was driving, doesn't have a valid licence or insurance. But it feels like there's more to this than meets the eye. It's more about who they are than just a traffic violation. The old Bill are obviously keeping a close eye on anyone with PDC connections.
Surprised we're not on the floor lying down and all that.
That's all we need. This is a mad one, this one. This is mental. Within the fucking first hour of meeting him, it's on us. The old Bill are on us. I mean, this is a geezer that's out of crime now as well, apparently. I mean, fuck me, imagine what it was like when he was running around fucking robbing people.
They claim they're legit, but I'm not sure that the police are so convinced.
This is what we have to go through every day. Every day. We're trying to change our lives, we've got jobs, like we're looking after our sons, and this is what's happening. We have to deal with attitude like that. That's why nobody deals with the police when they're asking for information, because they're doing things like this. They can't come to us with trust because they're doing things like this. You understand? This happens every day, and the youths all around here, they see it.
And he's got a license for the car.
I'm seeing for myself just how tense it gets on the streets between those involved with the PDC and the law.
This is the thing about the police, and the fact they're so not from this area. They ain't really got a clue about living on a tough estate like this, so it's hard for them to have any connection with them, I would have thought, to talk to them on a level, because they're never going to be able to understand. They're just there to nick them, for whatever reason that may be. And I'm not knocking the police, you know what I mean? The police have got a tough job to do, especially in London. But it's about trying to get a balance and trying to get some sort of relationship with the people that live on the estate. That's how you make it a better place, I would have thought, than making them the enemy.
Welcome to the hood.
Welcome to South London.
Welcome to the estate.
So after all this, I'm left wondering, am I about to spend a couple of days with a reformed character or an active gangster? The first generation of the hoodie, who to me sounds like a really nasty piece of work.
It was fast, high risk, pushing, shoving, grabbing people down the floor. You kicked him in his head. Yeah, but I needed to get round him, innit? So what else am I supposed to do? That, to me, that wasn't dangerous at the time, that was just normal. The people that was doing it to, they must have thought, what the hell? They must have been like scared out their pants. It got to that kind of stage where we got that kind of power on the streets.
I'm with Elijah on the streets he once terrorised. He's taking me to where he grew up. His mother ran away from his first home in Birmingham to escape his violent father, and was left to bring up 4 kids here on the notorious Angeltown estate. It seems like quite a nice place today, but as Elijah explains, 20 years ago it sounds like a madhouse.
At that time, I hadn't seen an estate before. I had music pumping out speakers. Yeah. Weed was out, splitting. Everyone was out. It was just drug dealers about. It was like, I was like, fucking hell.
Elijah's new surroundings were far from normal. Their house had previously been a crack den.
Because it was a crack house, the lot of dealers were still hanging about. See, there was times when we was in the park playing and we was being kids. Our surroundings are like people fighting, a lot of robbery talk, car thefts. From there, this went we went downhill.
Barely out of short trousers, Elijah's head was turned by the local gangsters who surrounded him, even though he knew it was wrong.
Most kids will look up everything your dad does. You look and think, "Oh, I want to be just like my dad." But when you ain't got that now, then you look around the corner, you look to this guy. And this guy's got a drug dealer, got all the cars, got all the girls. I want to be like him then.
So that kind of made us aspire to want the flashy stuff, the money, the girls, all that stuff. I'm saying, because we was all money motivated.
Girls and the money and cars. That whole kind of lifestyle. You're saying that was appealing to me at the time. That's what you want, those things.
So crime provided a way for them to get what they wanted. And they formed a gang called the PDC, the Dem Crew.
Pill Dem is like it's a Jamaican patois term for like robbing, taking. Like, yeah, we're the Pill Dem Crew. Take what we want, we do what we want.
His crime career began with burglaries and muggings.
I wasn't scared to rob no one, young, old, whatever colour, any place, any time. I didn't care.
Aged 14 and still at school, he and the other members of the PDC soon graduated to shop and bank robbery. Elijah explained to me the simple method they used, which was known as stealing.
All you do, you fly over the counter, grab the money, and get the fuck out of here.
I can hardly believe at the age of 14 he was robbing banks. But then again, it wasn't exactly Ocean's 11.
All that movie stuff, nah. No papers on the table the night before and all that, it was none of that. It was a thing where we walk on the high road, let's do that one. Let's do that one, or let's do that one over there. It was on the spot thing.
So you wouldn't even scope the gaff first, you go, right, that bank over there.
Yeah, like, see, if me and you was hitting, I would say, fuck it, look, there's Bartleys that come, let's go and do it.
They were boys getting involved in a man's game. They weren't very sophisticated, but they were very successful. I'm amazed when he reveals to me his biggest haul. He managed to grab 15 grand. He was just 15 years old.
So where did you keep your money? Where did you stash it? I mean, it's a lot of dough, that 15 bags.
The safest place for a young kid is under his bed, isn't it? You think that's the safest place on the planet, under your bed? You think that no one is gonna go on?
That's true.
As we walk the streets of Brixton together, I can see that he's clearly a face that's well known around these parts. Not surprising when you consider he was running one of the town's most notorious gangs.
If you see the police, Warner brother. Got it? Yeah, strong words.
At the height of his criminal days, clothes were a way for Elijah to show off his gangster status. It didn't matter what they looked like, it was all about what they cost.
Look at that fucking thing.
That's the stuff I was wearing back in the days. That's just kind of stuff. I didn't like the stuff, most stuff I was wearing. Like Bride, some of them was ugly, but it was Moschino and it cost like £700.
700 quid, you think, yeah, I'll have it.
That's the same. That's how it goes.
He was seduced by the gangster lifestyle. He was a kid who had nothing, so he went out and took it, and it gave him a newfound status.
It's like I had to prove something, prove that I was not gonna be like an ordinary guy being a bum. I'm gonna do something myself, and so that meant robbing and terrorizing everyone, and I'm gonna do it.
Living the gangster lifestyle meant he was a regular at the Ministry of Sound, which in London in the mid-90s was the place to be seen.
When I was a kid, I could never get in. No, they wouldn't let me in.
A lot of people don't get in, but because I think it was the way we was dressed. I was in Ministry of Sound as well. One time someone gave me a spliff, obviously, and then I was smoking it, but it had a crack in it. At that point there, money in my pocket, champagne, Gucci, glasses, crack. I thought I was like the black Scarface, so obviously, and all my friends was with me and they were doing the same thing, so they thought they were black Scarfaces also. We've got like 10 black kids that think they're black Scarfaces, and that's what we was doing, like living the life.
You couldn't get any higher at that point. I mean, that's
it. I was at the top.
He might have been at the top, but it all came crashing in when at 16 he was caught in a botched robbery attempt. But it wasn't the probation centre this time, it was 18 months inside. Now, I've never done any bird, but it's got me thinking.
Actually, we've got a lot in common, both from a council estate.
It's just that, you know, I obviously, you know, I had the result where I had an outlet. I had something to channel my energy into, which was the acting side of things. So I had a way out. He didn't. So it could have so easily been the same path that I took, really. And, you know, it just makes me think about, you know, the other life that I could have had. I'm keen to see where Elijah lives and where I'll be staying tonight. So we head back to his gaff. It's no drug baron's mansion. In fact, it's a tiny one-bedroom flat. He's never moved off the estate. And if he has stashed away any of his ill-gotten gains, he's certainly not splashed out on the decor. In fact, he openly admits he's spunked it all away.
And I started thinking, what was I doing with this money? I started going back and thinking, okay, let me go back, rewind. Right, that Gucci thing was that much money, this was this. I bought that girl this, I bought this for that girl, I bought that ring, I bought this one. I'm calculating up and I'm thinking, oh, I spent a lot of money.
Out of the back of the flat, I noticed some empty, boarded up houses. It's from there that Elijah's convinced the police have been watching him.
I've seen the old building there before, just in there, look at my window. They knew that, I knew they was there. That's
fucking prime spot to watch as well, isn't it? Now, the police don't waste their time watching any Tom, Dick or Harry, so he's clearly a major figure to them. Because if they weren't watching him at the back, they were smashing his door in at the front.
I've noticed, obviously, the door's battered.
I'm saying.
So, how many times you had that kicked in?
That's been kicked in around 5 times.
What with this and the incident with the old Bill earlier today, I'm not sure what to make of his reformed gangster story, nor do the police.
The policeman said to me, oh, you got illegal now, yeah? Nah, we're not having it. That's what he said to me.
All my life I've been playing a cat and mouse with them. It's like, these children are playing together for so many years and you've had enough, like, I don't want to play no more. And they're like, you can't do that. You can't just leave the game. We've got to finish it. It's supposed to end up like we're nicking you and you're like doing like life sentence or something. And then that's when we finish. If I was a policeman and I was in their shoes, I'd probably be doing the same thing that they're doing. I'd be like, he's doing something dodgy in the background. Once you're a criminal, always a criminal. But at the same time, because I'm not doing nothing, I haven't really got enough to worry about.
I'm not sure what to make of all this. Is he still up to no good? Or is he a victim of police harassment? Should I feel sorry for him? Or is there no smoke without fire? After all, this guy's got a serious record. And it's got me thinking about those who have really suffered in all this. So I had to ask him how he felt now about the innocent victims of his crimes.
Did you realise, you know, what you're doing is wrong?
And you know you're doing wrong, that's for straight, obviously, because I'm not stupid, so I knew I was doing wrong, but I wasn't, you don't care, innit? Victims, who's caring about victims? I need to buy some new Nike Air Max, so what are you telling me about the victims for? You got money, like, I need it. So if you came my way as well, then I'm gonna stamp in your head or something, or I'm gonna punch you. So it wasn't like, I felt like I was allowed to do that, because I'm a criminal and we're allowed to do that, we have to take from you, and if the police don't catch us, then we're gonna get away with it, because that's what criminals do. So that was my whole mentality.
He was a cold-hearted character, and he makes no excuses for what he did. I get the feeling that nothing would have got in his way. I'm struggling a bit to connect the Elijah I've met, who's friendly and charming, with the ruthless gangster.
Spaghetti on toast, mate. Bit of black pepper.
That's all, yeah.
A man's kitchen can be revealing. Elijah's is no exception.
That's what I'm saying, there you go.
Weird stuff,
serious.
The unused George Foreman grill was a giveaway that we had something in common. We're both useless at cooking.
I mean, I'm shit at cooking.
And when I got my kids around me, it's like, I can't cook. It's like, take away, we want a bit of McDonald's and we can it's embarrassing.
There will be no lean or mean grilling for me here. So we headed out for dinner in a local restaurant, where we were joined by some of his friends. It ate well and relaxing, and Elijah got a phone call.
Hello. Yo, what's happening? What happened on there? Yeah, for real. Just so we left.
Something was happening back on the Angel estate. Once again, the police were involved.
What's happening?
Yeah, someone has got stabbed in the area when we just left.
I'm living and breathing the world of former gangster Elijah Kerr, south of the river in Brixton. So far, it's been some experience.
This is a mad one, this one. This is mental.
I'm seeing a different London to the one I know. I'd felt the heat of the law on Elijah's estate when he was stopped by the old Bill.
Welcome to the hood.
Welcome to South London.
It made me realise that I was running about with a geezer who'd been a seriously dangerous criminal. A man who didn't let anything get in his way.
I wasn't scared to rob no one, young, old, whatever colour, any place, any time. I didn't care.
As we sat in a restaurant eating dinner, it felt like things had calmed down. I couldn't have been more wrong. After all, it was Friday night in Brixton. While we were eating, Elijah received a phone call.
Hello.
There'd been another stabbing on the Angeltown estate, very close to where he lives. I decided to go to the scene of the crime with Elijah.
The second left here, not this one, the second one.
We arrived to find the police investigating a stabbing that has happened just a couple of 100 yards from Elijah's front door.
Elijah's gaff's just over there. And somebody right here, this little manor, has been stabbed up. I can see actually the blood over there. There's some blood. This is obviously the guy's trainer. Oh, it's fucking just a horrible feeling. All the old Bill putting their forensic suits on now, look, you know what I mean? Just a normal Friday night, I suppose, in Brixton. This ain't nothing new to nobody that lives around here. And as you drive around this estate, you clock that there's bits of tape just hanging off fences where it's taped off constantly. And obviously the old Bill just pull it when it's sorted, but it's just hanging off. There's one up there, there's one around there. It's like this red tape here. This is Friday night in Brixton. Not even Friday night yet, Friday afternoon.
That's just normal, isn't it? It's not like a wow factor. Stuff happens all the time. Like, it's not like someone's been like shot outside my house before. Like,
it's just a frightening thing. There's no wow factor to it at all.
Other people see these things on the movies and that.
Yeah.
And we see it all the time.
I can't believe how immune they are to all this. And I'm amazed that the attack has occurred in full view of the CCTV cameras.
There's a camera over there, which is obviously overlooking that.
Fucking, I'm not being funny.
What? Whoever done that is just stupid.
You know, stupid, just no fear, don't care. Makes absolutely no odds.
Nobody cares no more. You might have upset me to an extent that I cannot do nothing else but react immediately, and I'll just have to attack you, whether I like it or not, beneath the cameras or not.
It all feels so extreme. Stabbing someone over an argument, to take someone's life, and then have 10 or 15 of your own taken away doing a prison sentence. What makes someone do that? Who are these people?
It hits home how real it is, you know what I mean? It is such a, you know, for them it's just walk off a duck's back, but I mean, this is the real deal, man. There's no bollocks here.
I would have got more reputation for making more money, but now I think you get more big reputation. Is the more violent you are. So the more stabbings or probably the more shootings you are, you're the big man.
We're off to meet some lads that Elijah knows from another estate in nearby Stockwell.
Okay.
We'll speak to some of the local lads around there.
Okay, a few of the young boys, yeah.
Who's left into this estate coming up here?
I want to ask those who live on these streets why violence and stabbings are becoming an everyday thing. It's hard to believe it's just about status and making a name for yourself.
Do you think it's turning into now just this whole idea of everyone running around stabbing each other, and it's just it's over nothing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, really and truly, yeah, but me personally, caught up in it. But it's mostly like the youngers, like the little ones, like I think they have something to prove, like they
what,
feel
as young as what, like
14, 15, like they might think they have something to prove, so they can roll with the older ones. But that's probably about it. Like they probably just take it out of hand, innit? Like thinking, well, they get respect from the older ones.
So you boys don't feel the pressure that you got to run around with knives on you?
Not even, to tell the truth.
Is this a rare thing then, Elijah? I ain't being funny.
Yeah, what you find, yeah, not of the a lot of the guys now, they're kind of seeing that, you know what, it's not even worth it. Because at the end of the day, what everyone's getting involved in and fighting over and beefing over is just something stupid. That's not everyone's like that, I'm saying. So these are the sensible ones out of a lot of lunatics.
And if they want to get involved, they get involved in it.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to get involved, then they don't get involved. So
yeah,
that's how it is, really.
Yeah.
It's up to them at the end of the day, the way I see it.
Friday.
The stakes have been raised to a whole new level, and it's really, really frightening. Where once it was fists and fighting, now it seems to be knives and death.
Man was in Stockholm today, so I'm baffled as well. Like everyone else, I'm baffled. Before, like, robberies would be like, you rob someone and you get the hell out of there, rob. But now you rob someone and they'll stab them to death, like, and then I understand that for like a mobile phone. I'm thinking, wait there, you just kill someone for like 30 quid. Like it's gone to another level now. Like.
It's late. I'm knackered, and I'm glad to be back at Elijah's place. He lives alone, but I can see the flat is obviously equipped for kids.
God, that's a mad-looking rocking horse you got there.
Yeah.
What's all that about?
Yeah, done that in community service, isn't it?
What?
Yeah.
What? Well, you made it?
Yeah, I made it from out of a big block of wood.
Oh, all right, in that respect, it's not a mad-looking rocking horse. It looks great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Actually, it is a really good job.
That's what I'm saying.
How long did it take you to make that?
How many hours did I do? I don't know, I think I had like 120 hours or something like that. So that's like... once a week for 7 hours.
You stretched that right out then,
so
The toys belong to his three children.
Just around 8 months.
And 3 different mothers.
1 day a week. The kids are 2, 2.5, 2 and 1 years old. All the same.
Close.
3 close like that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, do you have time to get out of one house around the other gaff?
That's what I'm saying. That's
fucking hell, man.
That's beautiful. I got no comment no more to that.
That's funny.
Finding out he has 3 kids from 3 different women on top of everything else that's happened is more than enough for me for one day.
You know, this whole thing about the stabbing that happened 30 seconds away from where we are now, that shook me up a little bit because it really does it home. It really is real. So, a lot to take in, you know. I need a few hours kip and then crack on again with him tomorrow.
Next morning, and it's time for breakfast.
You know what I'd like? A nice bit of eggs Benedict, right? With a nice waffle, right? With a bit of poached egg.
You'll be lucky. No way. I can't cook, so basically cereal is like a hot toss.
It's Frosties.
I don't Frosties. See, that's what I'm saying. Look at that. I can't make cereal. That's what I'm saying. That's how you know this is serious stuff.
No, you've done well, yeah.
Very well done.
After breakfast, we head back to the scene of the stabbing.
See what's happening.
I want to see the aftermath of the incident.
That's the blood. That's the blood.
Yeah, got it. It's a fucking pool of blood, that, isn't it?
This was an incident the police had described as minor.
It's not a nosebleed, is it? Let's be honest. I mean, how can that be minor?
If you're not
try telling the geezer's mother that's minor.
It's minor, yeah.
You know what I mean? Why don't they clean that shit up?
Yeah, they didn't clean it up as well. I was just about to say that. Just let me clean
kids
up.
playing around here, do you know what I mean?
Just left it there.
No, I want to get away from that, actually. It's
kind of dirty, yeah.
Oh, fuck that. It's wank.
Thankfully, the victim survived, but it seems to have reached the stage where as long as nobody dies, it's a minor incident. By a strange coincidence, Elijah was going to bring me here anyway. This is the same part of the estate where he reached the peak of his criminal activity. Crack dealing. Well, he wasn't going to be a plumber, was he? After his release from prison for robbery at 17, he tried to go legit as a music events organiser, but it didn't work out.
But people say to me, got a bank account. I was like, what? Bank account for what? Like, what do you mean bank account? I don't
even have a bank account.
No, like, my money goes in my box. Like, my money goes in my room, and I don't need a bank account. So I didn't know about all this kind of stuff. Right. So I said, you know what, this is it for me. I'm going back to do, I need to do something else. And I said, you know what, drug game.
Crime was what he knew. The drug game proved to be highly lucrative.
I was making like £500 a day to like £2-3 grand a day.
Really?
Each individual was making, I'm saying.
Elijah and the PDC transformed the whole derelict block on the estate into a crack dealing business.
One of the guys I sold drugs to, he went off, he was with a girl, and he came back and said to me, like, yeah, we was smoking all night, she died, she's dead. I was like, fuck, you telling me that for? I was like, fuck. I was like, what the fuck? I said, what you gonna buy? You wanna buy some more drugs?
Drugs. Now, I gotta be honest, he sounds like he was a total scumbag. I'm glad I'm meeting him now and not back then. He was blinded by money, as the drug business provided the high life he desired.
When we started making the money, it was out there, new trainers, living it, cars pulling up, it was so blatant. But that's, at the time, when the money started coming in, we weren't thinking. The money just started coming in too much. We was on the block counting money, and like 3 grand is out and open, count it, put back in the pocket. We were too open, way too open, way.
The police had been watching him for 3 months. When Elijah was arrested, he was shown the surveillance video.
I saw everything on the TV screen. I was like, fucking hell. They had the whole stuff. I saw myself walking up and down the block. They was like, so who's that then? I was like, fucking hell. But I was like, no comment, no comment, no comment. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I'm fucked.
I can't help but think greed and arrogance was their downfall.
£500 a day to like 2-3 grand.
The police had a watertight case. Elijah and 12 others were heading to prison. He would serve 2 years for his drug offences. On the inside, he decided that he would try the music business again, and he was going to do it with his best mate. But they would never get to work together. On the night before Elijah was released, Justin was shot dead.
That hit me hard. I was like, whoa, like this, that was unexpected. That was gonna happen. And obviously he was gonna help me. He was part of my new plan that I was about to bring out to the roads, like the business plan for the record label. Like, he was gonna be my business partner, obviously. So that was like a big hit, but at the same time it was like, you know what, I'm definitely gonna do this now.
On his release, the gang awaited. With his best friend dead, and the prospect of a future spent in and out of prison, Elijah made a move that stunned the PDC.
I said, I'm gonna do something controversial. I'm gonna use the same crew that we've got, the same element that we've been using to do drugs and robberies now. I'm gonna do it into a record label form.
Stuck and two smoking hours, all you hear is pop, pop, all through the hours on the council blocks. Unbelievably, the gang was going straight.
And use the exact format we've been using. Same guys, instead of that guy holding the gun, instead of that guy doing drugs, he's gonna be the graphic designer. Instead of that guy doing that, I'm gonna make him do the production.
Yeah, before we'd have got bags of drugs, now got bags of CDs, you see it?
All through the hours, feel me, PDC, you know? And I see for myself something else that has given him a focus for change. He's accepted Islam and prays at least 5 times a day. The more time I've been with him, listened to him, and got to know him, the more I actually believe he's making a conscious effort to change and move further and further away from the kind of person he was.
I've done lots of bad stuff in the past, so obviously I still have dreams about all that stuff. But I still see like people's face pop up, and I'm thinking, who the hell is that? But obviously that's like your subconscious, like that's things from your subconscious that you saw at the time, but because at the time you didn't understand what you was doing or you just didn't care, it wasn't affecting you. But now my mind's changed, like those things pop back up. I'm like, fuck, you know, like when I remember certain things, I think, fuck, you know, what was I doing?
How I was living a couple of years ago, I should have been dead, innit? So every day I pray, I'm thankful for that I'm still here, and I've kind of changed my whole ways, and the record label's here now, and all these stuff's going on for me now. So I say, you know what, I'm thankful for it. It's more form of discipline as well for yourself. Saying so you're kind of like ready for the day and you're focused. Some people might smoke a spliff and say, this makes me focus in the morning. Some people might
probably my method.
Yeah. Say, some people might have a snort like, oh, I'm fresh in the morning.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's probably me. Shit.
I'm in Brixton, South London, living with former street gangster Elijah Kerr, and I've had a mad couple of days. At first, I wondered if he really was a reformed character, as we felt the heat of the law.
Boy, I hope he ain't got about fucking 20 guns in his motors. We're fucked.
because he was a man who turned his hand to any crime.
I need to do something else. And I said, you know what? Drug game. So if that meant robbing and terrorising everyone, and I'm gonna do it.
But after spending time with him, I've come to see that he now wants to be a face for all the right reasons. Having turned his gang, the once notorious PDC, into a record label.
Yeah, before we'd have got back to the drugs, now I got back to the CDs, you see.
Today I'm going with Elijah to the studio, and on the way we stopped to pick up one of the young rappers he's been working with. I'm introduced to KC, who's 19 years old and on a tag, awaiting trial on a charge of possessing an offensive weapon. The prospect of prison terrifies me, so how does he feel about it?
Boy, obviously I don't want to be sitting in jail, and it's not. To me, it's not glamour. Some people want that. Some people.
Is it true? Some of these kids, they don't mind. They like the idea of that. They think that it's going to make them a face.
A lot of people now, they want something to talk about. They want people to know they've been in jail. Like, give it a little image. Like, it's not really me. It's not what I want to do, innit? But
some have that mentality to have that, though, innit? To want to go to prison.
It's the way it's
to be banged up. Like, but then you come out and then you can rap about it, or you can talk about it on the street, and that's. Do you know what I mean? That's like that's a mad mentality to snap out of that.
I'm about to see the new PDC in action. Are they as serious about music as they were about crime? They're producing a new track. And guess who's being roped in to make his rap debut?
So I'm going to write a little introduction.
Right, introduction. We're going to do 8 bars each, and we're going to do a song, track, and it's going to be a banger. I'm saying.
Stick to the concept though, living dangerously.
I'm living in the hood, but life isn't all good. I've got problems, my life's been misunderstood. Stereotyped and my whole life has been a hype. I've seen guns in the night, crack on the pipe.
London is strife-ridden, the tension's getting higher. I'm feeling like I'm part of the business like Danny Dyer.
I took the best of us and left scars on the rest of us. Pistol, I can't wait to see you in heaven, cuz.
I'm impressed. They're good. But the standard might be about to drop dramatically. It's my turn, and I'm far from relaxed about it.
Shitting my pants, making my debut on the rap scene. I think it's about time. It's been a long time coming. Nearly 32 now, so it's time to express me fucking self. Right, sweet as. I don't want to fucking laugh, right? This has come from the heart. This goes out to all the South London boys, living it up, living like kings in a concrete jungle. Respect to anyone who's lost their lives on the streets. Respect to anyone who's living dangerously.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
Get over that shit.
Yeah.
Get over that.
Respect when it says
Fucking,
respect.
I've upset myself. I've got emotional around it.
Upset myself. Fucking hell, upset myself.
Get hold of that. Respect. Once it's come from the heart. Powerful. Fucking, I've upset myself.
Elijah's trying to make a name for himself, but this time through music. Through crime, he got a taste for the high life and he liked it. He clearly wants to be a face once again, but this time without breaking the law.
I still want to buy Bentleys and I still want a big house on the beach and I still want to live nice. I still want people around me to live nice. I still want it, but we're going by it a different way this time. I'm saying so. I still like jewelry and I still like nice things, but definitely by a much more deserved way. And this time, when you get it now, you appreciate it more because I've worked hard for it.
As KC takes to the mic, I see one of the next generation who wants to make a name for himself.
When it's on top and some don't stand, destroy and rebuild the camp is what the team do.
He's at a crossroads. He's facing the prospect of jail, but just like Elijah, I can see he has something about him. And crime isn't his only option.
On some boss ting. Send requests to the angels, I'm living dangerously. Watch over my soul code, so don't play with me.
Pleasure, man. Fucking real pleasure. Good luck with everything. Well, there you go, yeah?
I'm off to work, mate, the youth club.
Oh, yeah,
Take
listen,
care.
brother,
Nice
it's
to
been
see
a
you,
fucking pleasure. I just find it fascinating, I really do. I mean, I stood up there and said 3 lines of dialogue, I was shitting my pants. They just fucking go, boom, and it's not just that, they're talking this, you know, it's coming from in here. It's like proper, they're talking about people that they know have died, and it's like powerful stuff, and just to be able to express yourself like that, blow me away. I'm so impressed by the whole thing, I'll tell you.
My time in Brixton with Elijah has come to an end. I've realised something positive has come out of his past. People listen to him because he's seen it, he's done it. Got quite a few t-shirts.
I've learned that, you know, these kids need people like you around them because you've done it. You've done the bird for it. You made a point, you don't lecture them. Can't lecture them.
You can't lecture them, no way.
You listen to you and you channel it in the right way.
You can still make more money in the streets in one day than you can probably make in doing anything legal. But at the same time, that's a short journey. I'm saying that's most of the time you end up dead or in prison. I can see a bigger dream right now, so it's me working hard and coming out of it is worth it. I'm saying so I can see that what we're working towards is gonna be much bigger than anything that can ever possibly happen in the streets.
Bare knuckle boxers, gangsters, drug dealers. I mean, you wouldn't want to stay around there, would you? Well, guess what? I got an invite. I'm moving in with some of the country's most dangerous men, so we can find out how they sleep at night. And judging by this mob, there's gonna be tears before bedtime.
I'm in London on the trail of one of the world's most notorious drug smugglers.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I've took my fair share of drugs, you know. So let's not beat around the bush, let's not start going all naive around fucking drugs. I understand the drug thing. Maybe my generation, especially, you're surrounded by drugs. You know, it's easier probably to go and get a gram of gear than it is to go and get a pint of lager now. You know, it's almost like rife. London especially, rife with drugs. That's the reality, you know? There's the thing about the government, they ain't got a fucking clue what goes on. You know, they just want to sweep it all under the carpet.
The illicit drug trade is worth billions of pounds a year. It's one of the main reasons that Brits get backed up abroad.
This is not fair. This is 22 years I have to stay here.
So I'm about to meet David McMillan, a man who spent 30 years masterminding multi-million-pound drug deals. I'm going to spend a few days with him so I can get inside the mind of a drug smuggler. He's putting me up so I can see how the other half lives. On my way to meet David in Soho, I'm harshly reminded that drugs are a dirty business that can affect anyone. My taxi driver tells me a story, how he was hijacked and held hostage by a gang of 6 drug dealers while they made their deliveries all over London.
What time of the day was this?
11 o'clock Saturday morning, and he went all through the afternoon.
Scared for his life, he was forced to drive him around while they conducted drug deals.
I drove him around for 5.5 hours until I managed to get a call through to the police. That was a scary experience.
Fuck me.
He eventually managed to raise the alarm and the police responded. The drug dealers were arrested and he got away.
Frightening thought was they was going to iron you out at the end of it.
Oh, definitely.
Get rid of you.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not going to just go, all right, cheers, mate, you've been lovely, here's a couple of £100, go and crack on. Don't say nothing, mate, but we've been picking up like keys of heroin all over London or whatever. So, frightening thought that is, mate. Good luck in the future. Just, you know, you can take some sort of solace in the fact that it will never happen to you again. You'll be one fucking unlucky it does. Do that.
Drug dealing is not a victimless crime. Those boys were just lowly street dealers. But it makes me think how ruthless this business can be. I'm off to meet Mr. Big, a man at the top of the heap who had a lifestyle to match.
I won't say it's a bad thing. I won't say, oh, children, now don't do this at home. No, my advice to a young man who was starting out in drugs, and you'll make yourself a fortune.
Cocaine, LSD, hash and heroin. He smuggled 15 tons of it, worth £140 million.
My motto in all of my smuggling business is always to offer the best product I can find, offer a good deal, and never double-cross anyone.
He worked alone. But in his time, he mixed with notorious criminal networks from Colombian drug cartels to the Italian mafia.
To survive in David's business, you've got to be utterly relentless.
In a trade where life is cheap and death is a daily business, David was at the top of his game.
You have another gang that likes your little setup and wants to muscle in. The only way you get respect is by standing up to them or putting them out of the picture.
If somebody simply disappears, and that's the best way.
The man I'm going to meet is a master of deception and has spent his life lurking in the shadows. I've never met David, and I haven't got a clue what he looks like.
Thing for me is, what does a drug smuggler look like? Now, I think I've got a bit of nous about me. I think I'm on the ball. I think it's going to be obvious. Clearly, he's going to be standing there in a white suit, smothered in gold, pair of glasses on, looking a bit digi and sweaty. Let's go and do it. Dave? No. No, it's not him. If it is him, he's one lucky fucker, I'll tell you that now. Dave?
No, Gary.
If you was a drug smuggler, you'd be a fucking good one. International drug smuggler.
There's only one other guy to ask. But it couldn't be him, could it?
Is your name Dave?
It is, as a matter of fact.
Pleasure to meet you, sunshine. I'm Danny.
Hi, Danny. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. You done me there. I was running around like a lunatic there trying to spot you out. But I would never, if I was customs, you would have fucking got away with it, son.
You think so?
You'd have slipped straight through the long grass. No two ways about it. Sweetheart, son.
We're in the middle of...
David is far from what I was expecting. He looks innocuous. He seems too posh to be a drug dealer.
Why a drug smuggler?
Ah, that. Well, because it's a problem-solving thing, isn't it? So that's the fun of it. And the more difficult it is, kind of stupidly, I've never been able to resist it when somebody says, no, we've tried it from there, it can't be done.
That excites you. It excites you, the idea of taking something on that's never been done before. You fuck up, that's it. It's over, really, isn't it?
Well, it depends where you are. In most of Asia, I've been arrested in most Asian countries, I guess, and usually got out of it.
This guy is an eccentric. He sees smuggling more as an intellectual challenge rather than an illegal activity. I wonder if he broke the cardinal rule of drug dealers.
Are you the sort of cat that's going to have to try his product before, or what? I mean,
Well, the call of duty is strong, and I must admit that there wouldn't be a drug in creation I haven't tried.
Really?
Mostly just casual recreation. I've always taken the view that it's better to know how to take it and to take it safely than not at all.
David uses weird logic. He treats drugs like any other commodity. He doesn't seem to have any guilt for what he's done.
Can't quite work this geezer out. I mean, it sounds like a bit of a game to him at the moment. It's all like a jolly up and it's a bit of a joke. He's got one of them sort of very strange ways about him that, you know, I'm not used to on these sort of shows. But I've clearly only just scratched the surface.
I'm with David McMillan, a major player in the drug smuggling business. He looks nothing like I expected. Certainly not a criminal mastermind.
Is your name Dave?
It is, as a matter of fact.
But this unassuming man is more slippery than I imagined.
I've been arrested in most Asian countries, I guess, and usually got out of it.
Hard drugs, cops and prisons are a million miles away from the society he grew up in. David McMillan was born in London in 1956. His dad was the head of a TV company and his mother worked in radio. His parents split up when he was 2 years old. He moved to Australia with his mother and soon had a string of new stepfathers.
The only influence out of all of that would have been that I had no great respect for men in authority. And because of that, no particular fear of policemen.
Everyone thought David might follow in his parents' footsteps when he got into amateur filmmaking. One of his early films was about a cunning escape, an idea that in his later years would come in very useful. With his disregard for authority, David's career plans were very different to those of his parents. His first job was in the film business, but as a projectionist in a cinema that showed porn films.
In fact, it showed kids' movies during the day and kind of soft porn at night. So you can imagine there was this difficult changeover about 5 o'clock, when you'd have to herd all the kids out one way, and what they used to call the raincoat brigade would come in the other. Pretty easy job, just hose down the seats between sessions, keep the lights low.
It was the 70s, but David wasn't just another dope-smoking hippie with a dead-end job. He wanted to aim higher.
David started off as a teenager, I believe. I think he liked using those particular drugs, and so, you know, wasn't happy with the current quantity or supply or quality of, and so he thought, well, sorry, I can do better than that, went out and did it.
In the 70s, it was popular for hippies to go to India to get high, so that's where David headed. But he was there for business, not pleasure. On his way back home, David hid hashish in his radio. He was stopped by customs officials.
Well, to cut a long story short, he let me through. He saw it, nobody was much around, and he didn't really want to arrest this, 19-year-old imbecile. He said, "Are you going back there?" No, I shook my head. "Last trip, is it?" All right, take your radio and go. So I don't think I really saw this realistically at the time. I thought I was a clever chap and I got away with it.
This was a turning point that set David off on a 30-year career in drug smuggling. If he could get away with this, then why not bigger shipments?
I found that smuggling hash was very bulky, so then I moved on to A-class drugs.
As we walk the streets of Soho, David tells me how in India and every other country he's done business in, he starts making contacts in the seedier parts of town. People who can then introduce him to the bigger players.
This is a place for me that I would associate prostitution, complete sleaze. You know, I've staggered about here, drunk at me nut. At the end of the night, not looking for prostitution or anything like that.
If I'm in a city and I don't know anybody, now what am I doing there? I'm going to score. You pick your man a bit well here.
Yeah.
Not too much of a flash Johnny, because he'll only be linked up with the kind of local Mr. Biggs. I kind of mid-level, and hopefully a junkie. Behind a quiet junkie is a reasonable dealer, and behind a reasonable dealer there's a trustable wholesaler.
Ah, okay.
So
just working down from the ground level and just sort of working your way up.
These kind of places are just a good place to start.
I'm not sure how to take this guy. He looks like he may blow over in a strong breeze, but he definitely talks the talk. David is like one of those old school gentleman villains, a smooth operator with a silver tongue. He created a multi-million-dollar drug smuggling network. At its height, it stretched from Australia through Asia to South America and Europe. He was the owner of 30 passports. It was easy for him to disappear.
I've been in Karachi doing business, Lahore, most of Pakistan, parts of Kabul, across the border in Afghanistan, Thailand, Bangkok, Vientiane, Hong Kong, which is small and dangerous, most of the cities in Europe, even Japan. I've been wary of the United States. I find it very hard to read people there. They all seem like actors anyway. You get to meet people from every different group in the smuggling world there is. Danish, Swedes, some of the Colombian biggies, the Thai warlords, some of the mafia groups. Well-dressed young guys.
He was a trailblazer. That started off and thinking, well, you know, how do I go about it? And went off and looked at all the systems and found the loopholes. It's one thing to do a one-off, but to set up a chain that is totally underground and totally successful week in, week out for X years is quite a feat. That entitled him to become, I suppose, one of the leading smugglers of our age, really.
But this life wasn't all glamour.
I find myself across the border in Afghanistan and there's going to be trouble. Well, shooting your way out of it's just necessary.
And things don't always go your way.
Even when you think you're on top of your game, things can go disastrously wrong.
David has spent a total of 19 years in some of the toughest jails in 5 different countries.
David McMillan was a successful drug smuggler in many ways, in so much as he made a lot of money and he moved a lot of drugs. But the other way of looking at it is that he spent a lot of time inside in various prisons across the world. But for serious villains such as him, that's the price to be paid.
David's taken me for a taste of his old life in one of Soho's Thai restaurants, where his unassuming manner catches me off guard with a very surprising story.
Thailand for me has happy memories, but also it's got kind of bad memories. I had a major arrest there and found myself in a Thai prison.
In 1993, he was locked up in Thailand's infamous Klong Prem Central Prison, aka the Bangkok Hilton, a stay that could have been the end of him. I've heard stories about this place, but I didn't think I'd ever meet anyone who'd actually spent time there.
Is that like a reality just smacking you around the face and going, right, okay, this is real, this is really happening. This is probably one of the worst prisons in the world.
And I've seen many a hard man from this side of the world crumble in those kind of places. All the new people coming in are made to squat naked. Pretty thorough searches. I remember a kind of fat, cross-eyed and ugly guard with one woolen mitt on with 2 brown fingers. There's a bit more colour added to those 2 digits. And why the hell did he use a woolen glove for crying out loud?
Yeah, fuck me. Some spare ribs, they're not very appetising after that. Okay.
No. I had high hopes that the Bangkok prison would have some kind of oasis of corruption where all the wealthy traffickers would live like kings. But it wasn't the case, certainly in the drug prison, which they call, it translates roughly as the cure. And it, well, cured any illusions anyway.
The Bangkok Hilton is one of the worst prisons in the world. The prisoners spend 15 hours a day in their cells and are forced to share with 20 others in a space meant for 5. But David's stay here was about to be cut short, literally.
The lawyer said, no, you're for the drop. I was going to be convicted for sure there. Now, 200 grams, it's still death penalty.
Death penalty, death by firing squad, is it? Or is it death by...
firing.
It's quite a medieval way of going about it, isn't it? It's
a machine gun welded to a bench. You're about 6 feet away, so not likely to miss. And there's a big sheet put in front of you, spare everybody the embarrassment. Now, bear in mind at this stage, you've had 30 lashes with barbed wire and your last meal. In that order, you know, what would you be ordering?
Now, Dave, is that not a deterrent for you? I mean, clearly it wasn't, but I mean, that is horrific.
Well, is it a deterrent?
What?
For... No, well, business. People are gamblers in the smuggling game.
Well, I mean, just as the thing is, the gamble is that you lose and you get murdered horrifically.
I can't imagine being in that situation. And David talks about it so calmly, it's weird. But in his mind, there was only one thing to do.
I had no choice. I had to escape. And only after I'd abandoned all the phony bribery attempts and also half-baked plans that other people had offered, I ended up having to do it in the most basic way possible. Of course, being a smuggler was an advantage in my situation. For I had to smuggle in half the equipment I needed.
First, he cut his way out of his cell with a hacksaw blade. He then constructed a ladder made out of picture frames, a couple of bamboo poles, and some duct tape.
It was probably the most complicated thing I've ever had to do in one night.
It's ironic that as a child, David had made a film about escaping from prison. 25 years later, he'd be doing it for real. Only this time, the guards had real guns and real bullets.
I was in one building surrounded by 7 other walls, and surrounded by a moat of some 30 metres and topped by a wall of over 20 metres with electric wiring around it.
He doesn't look much like Steve McQueen, but he is the only Westerner ever to break out of the Bangkok Hilton.
I just heard a native Thai speaker and it was a slightly chilly experience.
Even now, 13 years on, he's still wanted by the Thai authorities. Fortunately, Britain has no extradition treaties to countries with the death penalty. Luckily for David, this is the closest he'll ever get to Thailand. David's job and his attitude to the law has meant that he's lived most of his life as a fugitive, and over the years, he's perfected disappearing into thin air.
I get it. I mean, his job is about, you know, being another face in the crowd, being a face that you wouldn't even acknowledge twice. So, in that respect, I think he's perfect. Definitely just a shadow, this guy. He could slip around and you wouldn't have a clue he's around you.
After talking to the camera, I go back to find David, only to discover that he's given me the slip.
All right, fuck me.
It makes me wonder, is David still working in this business? Or is he just messing with my head? I've been spending time with international drug smuggler, David McMillan. I saw him in London, and he told me how drug smugglers are treated at the Bangkok Hilton.
Bear in mind at this stage, you've had 30 lashes with barbed wire and your last meal, in that order.
I've had a call from David, so I'm off to Brighton. He wants to show me something about his old smuggling days. He's a keen sailor, and over the years, he's smuggled tons of drugs around the world by yacht. He's taken me on a trip. He wants me to get a feeling for what it was like smuggling drugs on the high seas. I'm not really sure about this one. On a yacht, there's nowhere to run, and definitely no backup. And I don't know how real David is going to make this experience for me.
I'm a bit paranoid, I can't lie to you. Young Dave.
Well.
How are we, sir? Easy Tiger.
How you doing?
Lovely to see you.
Aboard.
Beautiful.
David's an intelligent man. He has an easy charm about him. But after his disappearing act in London, I'm finding it difficult to bond with the guy. But there's no time for sitting around. I'm put to work.
What do you want me to do? Ping it over there?
That way we can hang somebody from the yardarm.
Yeah, it's right.
Well done.
You good at knots and all that, Dave? Is that your game? You know, the old knot game? Oh, he knows his game. Look at him, look.
You know, I tied a few things up in my time.
I hope I'm not next.
Nothing trapped.
Beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it lovely?
It is good.
Wow, this is a bit of a moment, actually. Got to say, you know, it's just a bit of glamour, a bit of glitter. Here we go, out on the high seas. Look at it. God, fucking hell.
Suddenly, I realise this isn't going to be as much fun as I thought. It's getting choppy out here. We're miles from land and I'm completely on my own with a drug smuggler.
I somehow ended up doing this.
No, you know your game. I'm in your world now. I'm living in your world. Living dangerously. Living the fuck dangerously. Fucking hell.
There are over 2 million pleasure boats in the British Isles, and that doesn't include the boats coming in every day from across the Atlantic and the English Channel. Even I can see that those odds are pretty good for getting drugs past customs.
For me, you know, the idea that you've got, you know, there'll be drugs stashed, so you're battling, you know, to you know, cat and mouse with the police, but you're also battling against the elements. I don't know what's worse.
Well, I think...
What would worry you more?
I think a bribable Venezuelan Coast Guard would be a much better thing than Force 10 Hurricane. Because they just won't take your money, those hurricanes, will they? It's just being in the wind.
David's moved drugs on boats like this, and it was some of the best smuggling that he did.
Almost 90% of my smuggling was by air. that 10 to 15% by boat was the most valuable.
Really?
That came into tonnage and it came into a lot of millions. On a boat this size, providing you've got the time and you're not too greedy, you can make quite a good dishonest living by traveling the world. Inside a gas canister, I once managed to hide about 16 kilos by putting a tank within the tank.
16 kilos of what? What was it, coke or was it hash?
That was a bit of Charles, yeah.
A bit of Charles, yeah?
Yeah. And you know what that's worth now.
Well, yeah.
Last week the prices were £54,000 a kilo. So I'm told.
Yeah. David claims to be retired from this game, but he's still keeping his eye in. Smuggling by a boat was very profitable for David, but his preferred method was by plane, with the use of drug mules, or couriers as he likes to call them.
What's the most you can smuggle in the air? I mean, what's the most, like, really pushing your luck?
What, with couriers?
Yeah.
No, there's some pretty brave or stupid ones that take up to 11 kilos. It's a suicide mission.
See, 11 kilos, I mean, that's, for me, that's a lot of drugs, man.
I know, eh?
Jesus.
No.
Fuck me.
But David never did any of his own dirty work. When things go wrong in this game, it's the mules, not people like him, that end up in deep trouble. 90% of drug mules are first-time offenders who have been forced or conned into it because they need the cash.
How did an ordinary South London girl end up languishing in jail several thousand miles away, accused of being a drugs mule?
Those that are caught can either end up serving life sentences in appalling conditions,
22 years I have to stay here. I'm so sorry to my family.
and sometimes face a death sentence.
Do you have any boots?
David's brought me down into the galley to get some food on the go. And I can't help thinking about the risks involved in this business.
Gives me the horrors, that it really does. I can't stress to you enough. I mean, it's horrible, horrible, man. I've had some nightmares about that, being banged up and somewhere like that, and just surrounded by cutthroats and just, you don't speak the language. You know, you frightening, man. It's frightening stuff.
While David cooks dinner, I'm wondering how he can justify his main method of smuggling.
I certainly don't treat anybody who's worked for me as some pack animal that can be loaded up and sent.
Do you really class them as friends, though, Dave? I mean,
I certainly treat them as friends anyway.
you treat them as friends. Yeah, this is the thing now. Now, is it like sort of rules in the fact that you don't actually tell them what they're carrying? You lie to them?
A courier doesn't ask what's inside the bag, and it's better in a way if they don't know. I've often said, look, just think it's the worst thing you can imagine. Plutonium, you know, powdered babies or something like that.
David doesn't see his couriers as victims, more as willing participants. Something I'm not sure I completely believe.
I don't think it's all about money with the best of the couriers. It's all about their own personal fantasy, because near on every one of them is a gambler at heart.
Really?
They want the excitement without any direct connection with the violence or the ugly side of the business.
I think I know what David's getting at, but I want to know how ugly things got for
I
him.
always thought that in smuggling, in drugs, there's a dangerous side that most people think is really strong and always there. That is violence, killings, that sort of thing. If somebody is at your door, becoming violent, threatening your family, well, you cannot let it go on. Well, there have been times when people have disappeared. Now, there's a rule about murder. You never confess to one, and I'm certainly not a rule breaker when it comes to that.
Suddenly, this boat anchored off the coast of Brighton is feeling very small indeed. I've just realised how dangerous this guy was. But how did a man from his background reach that level of ruthlessness? Although immersed in this violent world of drug smuggling, he was living the high life with his wife Clelia, all of which he captured on film. late 70s, David had become one of the most successful independent drug smugglers in the world and had everything he could possibly want. But in 1979, he suffered a big blow. He was arrested in Australia when he was connected to a conspiracy to import heroin in a racket worth $96 million. He was 23 years old. 116 witnesses were called in the 6-month trial. David had used every trick in the book to get away with it, but was under a huge amount of pressure to confess, and the police went to extraordinary measures to break him. While he was in custody, the police moved into his house, and eventually, all that he had was either taken from him or destroyed.
Police lived in my house for 3 weeks. They held parties there, shit in the swimming pool. They painted over the oil paintings. They burnt the wooden carvings made of hewn pine that I'd collected over the years.
How did that make you feel? Did that make you feel angry? I mean, was it a bit of anger?
Naturally. My wife was arrested, and she was in there for 3 weeks, and she died in that prison.
Really?
She was burnt to death in a fire in the women's prison.
Oh, sorry.
It really made me feel incredibly guilty. I've never felt guilty about anything. I felt guilty about her death. That's my worst crime. I mean, what's the point of any of that if you can't protect your family?
Yeah, of course.
So I really didn't give a shit what happened to the trial for a long time.
David's wife, Clelia, died in a mysterious fire in Fairley Women's Prison in Melbourne. Only 3 people died in the fire, 2 of which were connected to his trial. In David's eyes, it was not an accident. With the loss of his wife, David was a broken man, and he began to lash out.
I was only interested in kind of really vengeance at the time. My visits with my lawyer were brief. I would hand him a list of contacts to get money and another list of people to be killed. Luckily, he was an understanding lawyer and kind of settled me down.
The trial had slipped through David's fingers. He was eventually sentenced to 17 years in Australia's infamous Pentridge jail. As a cruel joke, on his arrival, he was given old police surveillance recordings of his dead wife, a voice from the grave.
I'm given a tape recorder and I can hear my wife moving from room to room in the house. And on one of them, her sister ringing. And she must have been sounding upset. Her sister said, "Have you been crying?" She said, "Oh, no, not really." Well, is it David? No, it's nothing. And they went on to talk about something else. But you think then, your entire life is gone, and you've got these mysteries of people that you're close to. Many people would have felt so crushed they would have got out of anything to do with the drug business. But in fact, it was a declaration of war for me.
Faced with years behind bars, David now saw smuggling as a way of getting back at the authorities for the death of his wife, a battle he waged for a further 10 years.
There were some inner demons that weren't exorcised quite. I still felt at home in that world, like some old soldier who only knows the combat fields. And I just couldn't surrender to peacetime. I knew it all so well that I just couldn't walk away from it.
You didn't know anything else as well? Right?
Not really, and there was nobody in my life that was important enough to do it for.
I've got to say, Dave, you've got some stories, mate. You've got some amazing stories, you know?
Well, thanks for saying so, but what goes with that is what a waste.
Well, no, I'll raise my glass to you.
All right.
Cheers, Dave.
Good to know.
Thank you. I think I've underestimated him a little bit. You know, it's the first guy I've done who I could probably, well, I know if I had a tear up with him.
to make sure he can't hear, I could probably knock him out. But there's definitely an element to this fella that is clearly dangerous. Somebody that's done bird in the places that he's done. You've got to have something about you. And he's had to survive, and he's survived, and he's here to tell me about it. So here I am on the high seas. It's not as choppy as it was. Cameraman and a smuggler. And I'm looking forward to my night's sleep, let me fucking tell you that.
It's morning, and last night's conversations have really shaken me. David comes across as a gentleman, but the truth is that he deals in a deadly business, and there are many victims. I've survived the night, but I really cannot wait to get off this boat. I've just got back from a scary sailing trip with ex-international drug smuggler David McMillan.
Well, there have been times when people have disappeared.
Out of his 30-year career, he spent 19 behind bars. His last stay in prison was just 6 years ago, where he served 2 years for smuggling half a kilo of coke through Heathrow. But he now claims to be retired and living a quiet life. He's told me about the death of his first wife, and in the car he explains how he met his current girlfriend, Jeanette. She now has him on the straight and narrow, and being David, there's a story attached to it. 2 years after his dramatic escape from the Bangkok Hilton, he was in trouble again after one of his drug mules betrayed him. He ended up awaiting trial in Pakistan on drug smuggling charges.
I found myself walking past a dungeon with a great hook hanging from the middle of the ceiling and led into a room with a car battery over in the corner with terminals all over the place. It wasn't good. No, it wasn't good at all.
I think that may be the understatement of the century. But David managed to pull a few strings and was eventually released.
I got myself out of there, got a not guilty acquittal, cheers all around. The judge was very happy, managed to get his house extended.
But he didn't leave Pakistan empty-handed. One of David's friends inside Karachi Central Prison had a wife, Jeanette. She would come to the prison for visits, and it was during those visits David and Jeanette began to fall in love.
It's kind of totally out of my character, really, but marriage was on the rocks anyway. I just met David and I knew he was the one.
David's been a tough nut to crack. After that boat trip, I think I've really made some progress. He's invited me to stay the night and have some dinner with the family.
A bit of respect. Leaning all over his door. What's the matter with me? I was brought up with manners.
Wow.
Wow, wow.
I thought you might be.
How are you, young man?
Welcome,
You
welcome.
okay?
And this is...
Hello, sweetheart.
Hello, darling. Pleased to meet you.
Lovely to meet you, darling. Pleasure to meet you. Oh, you got some lovely little dogs. Come on in, dog. Come on.
This place is immaculate. Very different to what I imagined. But as it turns out, this isn't David's place at all. It's Jeanette's. They both seem a bit nervous, and I have to keep the conversation going.
They're worth a few quid, these dogs, aren't they?
What, the Pomeranian?
Yeah, about £1,000.
Yeah, they are. They're about a bag of, they are, honestly.
A bag of?
A bag of sand.
Bag of sand.
Oh, you'll have to tell me all of those, Daniel.
No.
My darling doesn't know the lingo.
Well, no, I thought, you know, you're out of Bermondsey, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm Bermondsey.
So you know the game then, didn't you?
David's a bit posh, and Jeanette's from around my neck of the woods. But looking around the place, it's easy to spot what they have in common. Jeanette's 2 daughters.
Have you ever thought about having children of your own? Is this just something that obviously, you know, I know you spent a lot of time in prison, but it just never happened for you, or?
Well, I made sure I didn't have children in the very early part of my crooked career. I didn't want, it was too much responsibility. I wasn't going to inflict that damage on them, so I made sure I didn't have them. But really, I feel like I do have them now. And of course, you know, I'd like to be a father. I understand you've got a young girl.
I've got 2 daughters, yeah.
Really?
2 daughters.
Do you think you do things in a less risky way now that you've got kids of your own?
Yeah, you basically, it's that moment of you don't just think about yourself anymore, you have to think about others first.
Well, exactly, and I'm not about to betray Jeanette and the girls by getting myself arrested. You know. I've run out of time, Danny, that's the thing. 50, what have I got, 20 good years left? I'm not going to walk out on all of this.
Now that he's in his 50s, I can understand why David doesn't want to go back to jail. But I wonder whether this world of drugs is all that he knows. While David cooks up some steaks for dinner, I corner his daughter to find out what it's like having a drug smuggler for a dad. How much do you sort of know about Dave and the sort of life that he's lived? Does he keep that quite close to his chest?
He told me about it, all of it.
Do you think there's a different side to David that you ain't seen?
No.
No? You know everything you need to know?
Yeah.
And you trust him?
Yeah, I trust him a lot. I know he's a good man, and I've been my father since I was like 7.
Really?
I really love him, he's great.
This is no normal household that Ellie's grown up in, and it shocks me to hear that David has been so open about his past. Then again, Ellie's biological father, who David knew in prison in Pakistan, was done for smuggling 2 tons of hash. With this colourful family background, we should have an interesting dinner conversation.
What do you sort of do to relax then?
I don't know whether it's ever... Play cards.
A bit of Charlie, you got a Hoover nose?
Yeah, she does.
You've got your work cut out with these 2, ain't you?
Your dogs have got nothing on
I don't know many 17-year-olds that joke about using coke in front of their parents. But when I asked Jeanette about the reality of David's career, things get a bit serious.
Lovely, this lovely bit of dinner. Appreciate this, right? Just want to ask you, how do you feel about his job?
Well, he's retired now.
Yep.
So
First of all, right, okay.
I'm really happy. I'm kind of relaxed. Before, it was a nightmare. Every time he walked out the door, it's like, is he coming back? Where is he? You know?
It must be horrendous, to be fair.
Oh, it's a hard life to live with somebody like David, sorry to say.
If it wasn't for Jeanette, I'd still be in a jail somewhere. That's
Yeah.
true. Absolutely true.
Yeah, really? What makes you say
I've
that?
settled him down.
And no one's got a heart like this woman.
Oh my God.
It is better than a diamond.
Lovely. You got to get a ring on her finger, didn't you? You got to do it lively and all. I can imagine a ring that Jeanette wanted and all, so it'll cost you about 50 grand.
Ma, there's a potato bit.
I think I have to get my old suitcase down from the top shelf, you know? The one with 3 sides to it.
As the evening carries on, a few strange questions start flying my way.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
Are you really a drug dealer?
Am I really a drug dealer?
Yeah, someone told me that you're a drug
In
dealer.
real life? In real life? No. Of course I ain't. I'd be mad, wouldn't I? Bit on top, innit, me selling drugs?
With the conversation going downhill, and having had my fill of wine, stories of drug deals and prisons, I decide to hit the sack. It's the next morning, and Jeanette's booted us out of the house, so David and I go and get a fry-up. David's lived an amazing life, one that few could have survived. He's now found a new one with the love of a good woman, and it seems to suit him well. David's biggest gamble is to go on the straight and narrow. I feel confident that he won't go back to the smuggling game, now that he has so much to lose. Bare-knuckle boxers, gangsters, drug dealers. I mean, you wouldn't want to stay around there, would you? Well, guess what? I got an invite. I'm moving in with some of the country's most dangerous men, so we can find out how they sleep at night. And judging by this mob, there's gonna be tears before bedtime. war is hell. It's kill or be killed. It can bring out the worst side in humanity. So what happens to the people who come back to Britain from Iraq or Afghanistan? How do they cope with what they've seen and done? And how do they fit in with normal life?
Have some fucking this then!
I'm on my way to meet a guy named Mo Teague.
Drop the knife, drop the fucking knife.
Mo's speciality is killing people with his bare hands.
You fucking want it?
Mo fought in the First Gulf War, but he was no ordinary soldier. His job was to go behind enemy lines, which put him in extreme danger.
It was life on the edge. You're not only trying to kill them, they're trying to kill you.
And fighting on the front line has had a lasting effect on him.
I've also been told that Mo is suffering from mental trauma from the First Gulf War.
He's out of the military now, but make no mistake, his experiences on the battlefield have shaped him into one of Britain's most dangerous men.
If you try to mess with Mo Teague, you're going to end up a very sorry man.
I fractured skulls, took off lips, body parts.
You're a trained fighting machine, you know? You're this pent-up, aggressive soldier, and you've got to be able to suppress that. And where does that go? My mission is to try and get inside this guy's head, which means I'm going to have to spend a couple of days with him. I'll be honest with you, I mean, I don't know how this guy's going to be. Okay, usually the first meet is under a tunnel or some sort of back street somewhere out of the way, you know, but for the first time I'm meeting Mo at his house, straight in his gaff, knocking on the door.
As I walk up to the house, it suddenly dawns on me that I'm about to spend the night in the home of a man who's been trained to sneak up on people and kill them in their sleep. It's a bit daunting, to say the least.
Hey, how are you?
How are you, Mo?
Nice to see you. You well?
Yeah, very well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Coming in.
Thanks for letting me come round your gaff.
Well, pleasure. Coming in.
Nice and tidy, Mo.
Well, so far so good.
Really? Oh, look at this. Look. There's me thinking you was going to be in some sort of bed sit, all on your own.
Well, there have been times.
Beautiful gaff.
It's lovely, isn't it?
I love the idea of a rocking chair just sitting there. It's beautiful in here. I love it.
I've got to admit, I'm surprised to see Mo living in such a nice and homely place. This home is about as far away from the horrors of war as you can get.
So let's have a little look around there, Mo. Yeah, is that all right, son?
Yeah, sure.
But then I noticed something on the shelf that doesn't look like your normal household ornament.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah.
I've never actually tested it to see as to whether it's...
Don't wind me up. What do you mean?
Well, I've never actually pulled the pin and found out. I mean, I know there's a fuse in there, so I've never actually... Should we let it off in the garden or something?
Nah, you're all right. Can I feel it?
Yeah, it's a heavy piece of kit, isn't it?
I can't stress you how heavy it is. It's like... That is just death. How many people could that iron out?
Oh, a few. Yeah, a few.
So you just have that sitting up there like that, just...
It's an ornament.
Up next to
apparently.
a picture of... what's this? What's going on up here?
Oh, that's my youngest. Taking her... Yeah, a bit of a contrast there.
A bit of a mad area to put it in, I would have
Yeah.
thought, you know?
Yeah.
Mo keeps a live grenade on his mantelpiece right next to a picture of his daughter's first Holy Communion. Is that what this man's all about? Fighting and family? His photo albums reveal that the Gulf War was a major event in his life.
Say we came across a position, there's bunkers like this.
Right.
You can tell a lot by the standard of the troops that are in there, if they've left all their kit lying around, if they're shitting outside the bunkers.
So if they're shitting outside the bunkers and
means they've got
things
poor
like that.
discipline.
Right, which means they're not going to be a top-notch soldier.
Exactly.
In 1990, the First Gulf War broke out when Iraqi forces invaded Kuwait in an act of military aggression from Saddam Hussein. The United Nations sent a coalition force consisting of mainly British and American troops to drive the Iraqi army out of Kuwait. Mo's role in the war was an intelligence operator, which meant he had to take photos of enemy activity. These missions involved going behind enemy lines, where he was constantly in the line of fire. But Mo didn't just bring back photos of the enemy, he also managed to pick up a few souvenirs.
They're artillery spotters, binoculars. So they use that grid to work out ranges and deflections and things like that.
Wow, it's really clear, isn't it?
Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah, it's a quality pair of these,
Yeah,
isn't
they're really nice. But I took them off the guy I killed.
This guy that you killed?
I killed him, yeah.
Somehow it doesn't feel right to be having a cosy little chat with Mo about something that he looted from a man he killed in battle. But Mo doesn't seem bothered, so I ask him how he deals with the reality of killing.
What's the feeling? What is that feeling? I mean, is it just like blank, or is it I have actually taken a man's life?
I felt pity for the guy. I mean,
how did you iron him out? What did you shot him?
I shot him twice.
In the head, in the nut. What was it?
Through the chest.
Oh, through the chest. Okay.
Yeah, through the chest. At very close range. Couldn't miss.
The more I'm finding out about Mo, the more confused I feel about him.
Just get out of it, really.
He's calm and friendly, gentle even, and lives in a lovely, tranquil house. Yet he talks about killing people as though he was buying a pint of milk, and he keeps a live grenade on his shelf. I like Mo. My gut reaction is that he's a nice fella, but something in the back of my mind is telling me that I shouldn't get too comfortable around him, and I should be wary.
Fucking this end!
I'm hanging out with war veteran and deadly martial artist, Mo Teague. This man is so deadly, he even teaches soldiers from the special forces how to kill.
Proper kick in the nuts.
So far, he surprised me because I was expecting him to be a bit of a weirdo figure. But what I've found is a calm and gentle giant who lives in a lovely house.
Oh, fuck me.
Although he does keep a live grenade in his living room and talks casually about killing people.
It's a quality pair of these, isn't they?
I took them off the guy I killed.
He lives on the south coast in Weymouth. He left the army back in 1991, and he now runs a martial arts centre where he teaches a unique full-contact fighting system. I'm expecting him to take me to a gym, but we end up in a boozer.
Why are we in a bar? I'm confused.
Ironically, most martial artists can't fight, and that's kind of.
And fighting, meaning a street fight.
A street fight where there's no rules.
No rules.
You know, anything goes.
You know, lots of people around you. You don't know who's coming at you.
Yeah, you can have the best punch and the best kicks and the best techniques if you like, but if you don't know how to tactically employ them in a bar situation, you're going to get taken right out.
Okay, well, maybe you can give me a couple of demonstrations, Mo. I don't know how we're going to do it, but obviously take it easy on me, being an actor, you know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know, just don't smash me face open. Anything else I can suffer.
Right, okay, mate. I'm sure we can look at something.
Oh, good.
I've got no idea what I'm in for. All I know so far is that he's killed people in battle, but that was in a war. This is a bar, which is usually somewhere I feel quite relaxed in, but not today.
So, okay, so you...
So, imagine it's all kicked off, you're having a go at me.
So I'll come into you like that. Oh, fuck me. All right, okay, yeah. So I said, all right, yeah. Caught me right in the heart then.
Yeah.
No, that's a powerful tool, that, isn't it?
Your elbows are, yeah, that's...
So what, so just do it slowly, you ain't got to hurt me, all right?
Now, once I get in here, okay, I can reach in, boom, headbutt.
Yep, gotcha.
There's your eye rip your eye out. Okay, you relaxed?
Well, a bit.
So I've headbutt, I flick you in the eye, boom, catch you here like this.
Fucking hell. Right, I think some other can do this demonstration. Oh, that was a shock to the system, that was. No, that rattled me head.
I must admit I didn't expect that. This guy's using real violence on me. This isn't like a film where punches get pulled. I'm half tempted to walk out, but I don't want to lose face. So I agreed to another demonstration, even though I don't feel 100% safe.
Close your mouth, clench your teeth.
No, what are you going to do?
I'm just going to give you a tap, just
right,
from
good.
here. I'm not going to pull my hand back or anything like that. Just relax, no, relax. Just relax.
You didn't knock me spark out, for fuck's sake, Mo. Slow down. Fucking hell. All right, well, that shook me. I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
Fucking sweating and everything now.
Mo just punched me hard in the jaw and it really hurt. It feels like he's daring me to have a go at him. There's no more Mr. Nice Guy. He's switched to dangerous mode.
What, any less strenuous ones you've got to show me, Mo? Or?
Well, there's no nice way to fight, is there?
Of course there ain't, absolutely fucking not.
You've got to lay the marker down, so if I take somebody's eye out...
So when you say about the eye thing, you actually put the thumb in the eye...
Put the thumb in the eye, rake it out, you can rake it out.
Of course you can, yeah.
Fucking right.
I'll be the first to admit that I know next to nothing about martial arts, but Mo's techniques are a painful eye-opener. Now I know why we've come to a bar. After Mo was decommissioned from the military, he needed a job. What he knew best was inflicting brutal punishment. This violent streak made him the perfect candidate for a job working the doors in the toughest bars and clubs, where rucks would kick off on a daily basis.
I'm going to hit him like that. What was that? And now I hit him on the head.
Mo gets one of his martial arts students to play the victim, and I'm shown some of Mo's favourite methods of dealing with anyone who was foolish enough to get leery with him.
We do the mouth rip. So if we're taking somebody out at the nightclub, we take them out like this. And people say it's brutal, but I say, look, he's happy because he's smiling. So, you know what I'm saying? See what happens. That's painful, isn't it?
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah?
Look, he's opened his fucking nose up, look.
Yeah.
Come on,
See,
Mo.
he's coming this way. Come on, straight down. I wouldn't give people a second chance. It was like, you know, one chance to drink up, and then it was bang. Once he's down here, I stamp on his ankle and break his ankle. Now he's got a broken ankle. He ain't going to do anything. He's probably screaming.
He soon built up a reputation for extreme violence. He became infamous for his use of a particular tool for straightening out troublesome punters, a monkey wrench. This earned him the nickname, the Mechanic.
My weapon of choice at the time was a wrench, like a monkey wrench, and I had no hesitation in hitting people with that. I fractured skulls, took off lips, body parts. It was pretty full on.
Mo was only too happy to fight every Jack the Lad who wanted to gain a rep for themselves by taking him on. This often meant dealing with knife-wielding thugs. So I'll get a quick lesson on how to handle yourself when someone comes at you with a blade.
So all I got to do is isolate. This is a training drill. So I just want to catch this. Just come for me. So all I got to do is catch that. So this is where we start with the training. So I got to get boom here and get this. Once I get it, I need to wrap it. What we call wrap. Now I can under wrap or over wrap. But now I've got this because this is what's going to kill me. People say you can punch you in the head with the other hand. Yeah, of course you can. Okay. But what I'm going to do is take a fucking bite out of his arm. So when I bite you, you release it anytime you feel. Yeah. Right?
Fucking, look at the mark in his arm.
There's a mark.
Little mark there, Mo, little Mo mark there.
Yeah.
Mark of Mo, little love bite, if anything, you know. Okay.
I'm not happy about the fact that Mo's beating up his student, but I suppose these techniques could save your life. I still get the sense, though, that he's enjoying hurting the poor fella.
But if I kick him in here or kick him in here, see he's got no stance, I'm kicking. If I kick him then here, if he's not stood properly, he's not.
I find Mo's appetite for extreme violence a bit disturbing. But when he was working as a bouncer, there was good reason for it. Mo was dealing with a murderous rage which came directly from his experiences on the killing fields of the Gulf War.
I was angry, I felt I'd gone to war for oil. I just felt resentful against the system. You know, I'd gone out there, killed people for what? And all this manifested itself in violence inflicted on other people. If I've got him here now, I'm going to break his arm. Even if I've got the knife, I'll fucking break his arm. Because I don't want him coming back. I don't want him saying, oh, you were lucky. I want to come and bring him flowers in hospital on Monday and say, you ever come near me again, I'll fucking kill you.
Fucking hell. Right. I mean, that is one powerful man. I mean, I can't see how anyone could go up against this guy after what I've just witnessed. It's absolutely freaked me out. And me being a Ponzi actor that I am, I can't believe he punched me on the jaw.
Now I've seen what Mo can do to people and I'm worried. Plus I'm a bit concerned about this guy's mental condition. I didn't expect him to actually make eye contact with me as he demonstrated the moves. But he seems to be enjoying it, and the look in his eyes when he was doing these demonstrations was like he's still in a war zone. Is that what war does to you? Is Mo suffering from post-traumatic stress? And is that what makes him so dangerous? I need to know more about him. There are pieces of the puzzle that are missing. Maybe I'll find some of them when I meet his family. They're all gathered at Mo's for a party to wet his new grandson's head.
Hello, mate.
The first person I want to speak to is Mo's partner, Jackie. As his missus, she must know all there is to know about him.
So, how's it for you? I mean, you know, being with a man who's got a bit of a reputation.
Don't say I'm a pussycat, because you always say that.
He actually is the most compassionate person I've ever met.
Nice.
He doesn't go with the image, but he is actually.
So sometimes he slips into that, does he?
Well, he comes through the door and I just remind him, you know, his place at home.
Yeah. So she's the governor in a relationship, yeah? Can we safely say that? Any man that says that his wife isn't, the governor is a liar.
That's right.
At least I find something we share, something we got in common. We're both under manners from the missus.
My martial arts in...
Watching Mo with his grandchildren, I can see for myself his other side, the compassionate man. The vicious beast I saw in action earlier has been replaced by a loving granddad.
Love kids then, Mo, do you? Big thing for you? Obviously your grandkids, obviously, but
it's a whole different ball game now with grandchildren. You know, you bring your own kids up, but with your grandchildren, hopefully you can put right the things that you feel you've got wrong.
In this sort of environment, you feel you're most relaxed there, and you've got your family around you.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm not making a television series about doting grandparents. My job here is to try to understand the mentality of a dangerous man. Mo's 3 daughters are here, and I wonder how much they know about their father's murky past, and if they can shed any light on who he is.
Danny, this is Kaylee, my middle.
Hello,
Nice to
Kaylee.
meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, sweetheart.
I asked Kaylee how much she knew about Mo's violent activities while she was growing up.
It's weird because only when he told me that you was coming down to do a documentary about him did I kind of look into more of what he does, because it's the same, like your personal life is, like your family life is your life and that's your work life, isn't it? And like we didn't really understand, like I Googled you for the first time the other day and I was like, oh my God, yeah, after he told me, and I was like, whew. So most of it I don't really know because that's separate, isn't it? Like you're just our dad,
yeah. Separate, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay, so you would say, okay, in general, you know, a good dad, really.
Yeah, definitely.
The fact that Mo's daughter has had to Google her dad to find out what he's actually done shows that he's keen to keep his violent side separate from his family life. The party's in full swing, and Mo is keen to show me how proud he is of his Irish roots.
It's in the blood.
It's in the blood.
Which means drinking a lot of whiskey and having a bit of a dance.
Do you wind me up? No, Mo, don't, Mo.
There's no way I'm going to get up and dance. I've got my image to think about.
No, I want to,
but then again, I've had a few whiskies.
Right, okay, right, no, don't go ready. What am I meant to do now?
Right, on the count of 7.
Why don't I just step?
5, 6, up, round.
What do you mean round? What do you mean round?
Kick your bum. Kick your bum like that.
I'll kick my bum all day long. Boom, out, boom.
Brilliant.
All right, listen, that's living dangerously. That is living dangerously.
I think that my Danny O'Dyer moment has helped me gain Mo's trust and respect, because he opens up to me about his relationship with eldest daughter Joanne. Despite his best efforts as a father, it hasn't always been happy families between the two.
I'll tell you what, it's been a hard time, really, really hard.
Feeling brave thanks to the booze, I asked Joanne what she did to cause her dad such grief.
Well, I got in with the wrong crowd and started taking drugs and going out and, you know, all that. And then when you're in that crowd, you meet the wrong sort of man, don't you? And I met the wrong sort of man.
Okay.
She explains how the man she married made her life a living hell. His violent and controlling ways verged on the psychotic. But surely he must have been scared of Mo.
Not at all, and I think that as far as he was concerned, it was kind of like sticking 2 fingers up at my dad.
I think the first time I met him, she had a black eye, and it was, You know, it was the
Really?
same old. Oh, it was the same old rough play. We were mucking around, that sort of thing. So, you know, I'm expected then to react in type. In other words, you know, kind of go charging in there, fist flailing and everything else.
But then you immediately lose your daughter.
Exactly. So, you know, I see things in terms of a long game. You have to play the long game.
Of course, of course.
I mean, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say. I mean.
Listen to him. Mo, say what you got to say now, and if you don't, you know, we can take it out.
We were 50. He was 15 minutes away from being shot.
Okay.
I mean, you know, it went that far. We had somebody to do the business.
Yes.
I'm shocked by this. I have 2 daughters and I can understand Mo's strategy, but shooting your own son-in-law. I'm reminded how ruthless this man can be when it comes to hurting people. I'm interested to hear more, but Mo wants to end the conversation.
No,
Can I just butt in?
Yeah.
Your sister's getting upset.
Who?
Kaylee and Sean, because this had a wider impact, and even the very mention. I mean, it was. I mean,
I can imagine, Mo.
I'm not sure if it's coming across, and I know the effect it had on you, but apparently a couple of people are getting a little bit upset.
No, we don't want that. Don't want that. No one getting upset. None of that bollocks.
No, they're getting upset now. So
I'm absolutely right.
all right.
Okay,
I mean,
sweet. All right.
All right.
The mention of guns is a revelation to me, but I'll have to ask Mo about this later because right now I've had far too many whiskies and I'm in no fit state to continue.
Come and sit down here.
Mo, can I sit on that log?
It's time for a bit of male bonding, but thankfully that doesn't involve me getting punched on the jaw.
This is my idea of heaven.
Isn't it?
Right, you got a little plot at the end of the garden. You sit on your fucking own.
Oh mate, I'll tell you, I'll do that.
Just think.
Little drop of whiskey.
Drop of whiskey. Well, no, it's not a little drop of whiskey with you.
It's not a little drop of whiskey.
I've
no.
learned that. Right?
No, it's not a little drop
of whiskey.
It's
right?
Irish hospitality.
Irish hospitality.
Yeah.
Right? And just sit on your fucking Jack Jones and have a right fucking ponder about life.
Yes. And it's all in there. All the answers are in there if you can find them.
I just want to fucking lay here, Mo, like that.
I've got a sleeping bag.
Me and you, I wouldn't. Fuck the sleeping bag. You keep me
Just
warm,
sit
Mo.
here.
You're a warm man.
I'm with Mo Teague, an ex-soldier who knows a thing or two about killing people.
Don't fucking struggle, mate. I'm gonna fucking do you.
He's already punched me in the face and I've discovered when he's not smacking people around the head with a monkey wrench, he's a loving family man. Last night at a family party, not only did I get pissed out of my head, I also found out that he came very close to shooting his own son-in-law.
He was 15 minutes away from being shot.
It's the morning after the party, and I wake up with a banging hangover. So we decide to go out for breakfast. I can't remember exactly how many times my glass was filled last night, but I can confirm it was a lot.
There you go, mate.
Just don't drive like a lunatic, all right? Feel a bit,
No, I'm a bit,
feel a bit
careful.
queasy.
Yeah, me too, actually.
And it's not just me head that hurts.
And my jaw's still hurting a little bit and all that.
Oh, really?
Mo's taking me for a good old fry-up, so hopefully it'll help me get my head together so I can find out more about his life on the edge.
Here we go, look. Oh, look, get told it. Look at that, look. It's legendary, isn't it? Look at that, look. I mean, it's old school, is what it is, mate. That's very sophisticated. Look, I've never had my beans in a little bowl like that before.
Me neither.
I feel I really bonded with him last night. But when he spoke of how close he came to having his son-in-law shot, I realised that there was a lot more to learn. So I asked him if he's ever had any involvement with the criminal underworld.
I did hang out with a criminal gang and I used to look after all their guns for them. And then when they had to go and do a job, we'd come and get the guns.
So you'd stash the guns?
Yep.
You like the idea of that?
Yeah, I can't lie.
After returning from the Gulf War in 1991, he started to fall into a life of crime.
I got involved then in that lifestyle and I just thought I'll have some of that, you know what I mean? I'll get involved in that because I thought it was glamorous. And
Glamour, glitter, you know, and all that bollocks.
It was all the lingo and it was all new and it was the adrenaline. I was doing something that I knew was naughty.
Mo was out of the war zone but found he needed something to replace the adrenaline rush of battle. This meant he became a menace to society.
We got stopped about 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd had a drink and I was driving the car and the police pulled me over and I don't know why, but I chinned the copper. So
So you've got no idea why, you just thought, right, he's going to get it.
He's going to get it, so I chinned him, legged it. I didn't know the area very well, so I'm running towards the police station. It's a bit like, then all of a sudden the fucking Keystone cops come charging down.
Yeah, now.
Give me a right good hiding.
So you got a clump out of it, yeah, you chin a copper, mate, you bang the
That's
trouble.
it. Yeah.
I'm still getting my head around the thought of Mo laying out a policeman, but then he drops a bombshell.
While all this was happening, I'd come back from Iraq, and I was working. I was basically, to all intents and purposes, a royal photographer. Any occasion where the army were involved with the royal family, which is probably about once a week in London, I was going over and taking. I was in close proximity with the royal family, behind the scenes, with the Queen and Princess Diana. Yeah. So
very close to him at the time. I mean, you know,
just like we are now. You know, absolutely, just taking photographs of the royal family every week. Then I was hanging out with these criminals.
So a lot on the brain then, Mo. A lot going on. A lot to juggle.
I lost the plot a little bit.
He was running around with armed gangs by night and photographing the royal family at close quarters by day. These are some of the photos he took at that time. It's another example of the extremes of Mo's complex past.
In a way, I guess, you know, I'd already been told I was leaving the army, so I was bitter and resentful. And it was also like when I was working with the Queen, I was almost giving the finger to him, saying, and you don't know tonight the people I'm going to be hanging out with. And it was a little bit like getting my own back. You do your bit for your Queen and country and all the rest of it, and then they just kind of, well, thanks, but no thanks. You know, we've had our bit.
So you suddenly find yourself unemployed then?
Yeah, you know, just out on the street, really. We've got 3 children, and so yeah, I was angry, I was resentful, I was bitter.
It's a mad place to be, that, isn't it, Mark? In your head.
Yes, but it's not a good place to be honest.
He felt angry because the army offered very little support for soldiers who were suffering from their experiences during conflict.
I guess when I came back, I didn't really have anybody to talk to.
Really?
Nobody wants to know. They kind of, don't tell me, I don't want to know the details. But that's the sort of things you want to talk about.
You feel you need to express that?
Yeah, normally...
What the idea of that you've killed someone or you've seen dead bodies?
You've got all this experiences inside that you want to talk about, and just so somebody understands you, what you're going through. And I withdrew within myself, drank a lot, drugs, I guess, and not heavy drugs, but, you know, my whole value system changed. When you see man's capacity for violence to another man, another human being.
So you was almost in a way, you know, you're like a walking time bomb, really. You just.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't convey what it is like to see something that was meant to be a human being. You know, you can't. You know, you can see it. Everybody's seen pictures, but you can't. But the immediate effect of that, or when you've killed somebody, you know, you just can't convey the whole emotional thing. It's too abstract.
Of course.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It feels like the more I find out about Mo Teague, the less I know about the man. Who is he? He's been a soldier who served for Queen and country, a ruthless doorman cracking skulls with a monkey wrench, a devoted father and a royal photographer by day, whilst moonlighting as an armed robber by night. Trying to make sense of the many sides of Mo is a mind bender. He's like a jigsaw puzzle where you can clearly see the picture. It's only when you separate the pieces that you wonder how they came together in the first place.
Well, I've come back to see Mo. I needed a bit of time away from him, to be honest with you. He punched me in the jaw. I can't deny that, you know? A bit of a moment for me. So, listen, he said to me, he wants a bit of Mo time. I don't actually know what that means yet. I'm hoping that means that we're going to sit round, have a little drop of whiskey around the fire and talk about maybe his experiences. But knowing this unpredictable character that he is, I'm sure it's not going to be as simple as that. I'm hoping it is. You know, what does Mo time mean? What does Mo time mean? You know? Let's go and find out. If he punches me in the jaw again, I'm going to knock him spark out, I'm telling you. I'm joking, of course I'm joking. Kill me. Oh, you want some, Mo? I'll kill you. Hey?
How you doing?
How are you?
Come on in, mate.
Oh, you got some get-up on there, Mo.
Oh, yeah, not half.
You've got some get-up on. He's got some get-up on.
And guess what's coming next?
Oh, no, Mo, what's coming next, mate? As long as I ain't going to get punched in the mouth again.
Let me just see that I've got the right size for you.
Oh, no, what we've got going on here, Mo?
Here we go.
OK, Mo, so we're not going to just be sitting out in your garden?
No, mate, we're going to take a little walk in the country. We're going to do a little bit of a walk in the country.
Right, OK, this is my get-up, is it?
This is your get-up.
So I'll get this gear on. And then
Get the gear on and then we'll take it from there.
And then we're going to go on a little bit of a mission, are we?
We're going to go on a mission, yeah.
Right, let's chuck this bit of clobber on then. No looking at me arse and all.
I should have expected something like this. God only knows what he's got planned, but I'm getting nervous already.
Well, what have we got here?
Well, OK, this is 24-hour wet ration pack. Yeah, get the old hankies.
Yeah, that's for, you know, a wank in the middle of the forest or whatever.
You won't be doing that tonight, will you?
Nah, well, it depends. It depends, Mo.
It's only me and you, mate.
It's all right, we're all men here, we're all men.
All right, OK, fair enough. Right,
what's this, sausage and beans?
Sausage and beans, yep.
It's like space food, isn't it?
Well, I guess it is, really, yeah.
Maybe this isn't going to be so bad. Mo's in good form. But then again, I've already seen how quickly he can turn. We arrive at the location, and Mo explains that this exercise is going to give me a taste of what it's like to go behind enemy lines to gather intelligence. This could mean staying out all night. Now I know what Mo time means. He wants to give me a taste of what he went through as a soldier at war. To get the full behind enemy lines experience, Mo wants to teach me one of the basics, how to kill with your bare hands.
I want to show you how to take out a sentry, OK? We've got no weapons, no knife. You can pick up a rock, lam it around the back of the head with that.
A bit messy though, that, Mo, is it?
A little bit messy.
The victim is another one of Mo's martial arts students. If Mo doesn't actually kill the guy doing this demo, then I've got a feeling I'll be seeing him later in the woods.
You don't look directly at him. And we just come in like this. We're looking just in his back, but not looking directly at him, OK?
Any reason for that? Why?
Well, because people can sense when they're being... You ever get that feeling, I'm being watched?
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, okay.
Whether you believe in that or not, but
right,
that's the way we teach it, right? So you scrim that like this, OK? So you hold it, so it's going to go around. You're looking down, you're going to sneak up to him, OK, nice and quiet. And basically this goes over his head, this way, so it goes around under his chin. You twist it like this, and you snap him down this way. Once he's down like this, you put your knee on him like this, you chop him like this. Right on that neck.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's a goner.
I'm getting a bit more nervous now. Mo's definitely got something planned for me. And I still can't forget that this is the man who punched me in the face. So here we are. Just me and Mo alone out in the woods playing war games. I know it's not real, but the adrenaline is starting to flow, and I'm getting a sense of what it must be like to be on your own in enemy territory. I've got this strange feeling in my gut that something could happen at any moment. It's quite an intense feeling, but one I'm sure Mo is used to.
Just going to move down here, it's about 50 metres or so, and then we'll move in, and we're there.
Keep moving deep into the woods towards our outpost. As it starts to get dark, I realise I can only see a few feet in front of me. I feel like at any moment I'm just going to walk straight into a tree or something. I don't want to make a fool of myself because Mo is very serious about this. I don't want to let him down. We eventually reach the outpost. This is where we'll sleep tonight. Not exactly 5 stars.
So this is ROP, is it?
This is ROP. Gives us a little bit of cover.
Fuck me, we've got under there. No one's going to know you, especially when it gets dark.
Mo tells me how when he was in a war zone, he could expect to be in a tiny space like this for days, cooped up with 4 other men.
You take it until us to sleep and stuff
like that?
Yeah,
2 on, 2 off. So you've got 2 people sleeping.
How long would you be let to sleep? 2-3 hours?
Well, you could work it out yourselves how much you want me.
How much sleep does a man need?
Yeah, some people didn't really, you know, the adrenaline's going, you don't really need that much sleep.
I don't think I could sit here for 5 days. In fact, I don't even know if I can handle 1 night. Now we just have to be quiet and wait to see if there's any activity.
Right, here we've got a bit of a technical problem.
It's not long before something happens.
Hear that?
What do we do?
Hang on, wait a minute. Get your kit on.
Yeah, there's no someone down here, look.
Yeah, something down there. I've got bug out, follow me.
Mo gives the order to leave our position and make it up the hill to a safer point. Running away from someone you can't see up a steep hill in the dark is not easy. It's exhausting. The only thing keeping me going is adrenaline. Mo decides we're in a safer spot, so we stop running. I'm absolutely knackered.
Oh, it's hard work, isn't it? Can't imagine what it's like, you know, in a real situation. £100 on your back, the adrenaline will take you so far. Exactly.
Even though we've run some distance, it looks like we haven't gone far enough. Someone is still tracking us. I know this is probably one of Mo's guys I saw earlier, but my heart is racing anyway with the excitement.
What's the trick up here? Yeah. Shh. Get down. There's someone coming along, yeah.
Mo gives the order to take out the enemy scout. I was half expecting this, but now I've got to actually do it.
Bastard, fucking want this, do you?
I'm with war veteran and deadly martial artist Mo Teague. I've learnt that Mo's a man that doesn't do things by half. I've already been punched in the face, and now I'm out in the middle of a forest having to do the same things he did as a soldier at war, when it was kill or be killed. Simulating killing an enemy soldier isn't easy. I'm exhausted. I need fuel. Time to sit down and eat our rations.
One of these each, do you reckon?
I thought we'd be making a fire so we could have some nice hot food, but Mo has other ideas.
So you just eat it cold?
Yes, mate. You up for that?
Yeah, no choice.
Don't get me wrong, I like sausage and beans, but I can't say I've ever had them cold.
Right, so, Mo, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, for me, all this, it's like, what punishment, really, for me. Is this your idea of fun?
Some people would say it was like self-punishment, if you like. Almost like a cleansing.
Cleansing from what?
Well, from the violence. People say to me, you know, the war's finished, or the fighting's finished, or the violence finished, but it's never finished in your head. You know what I'm saying?
Now I understand why we're here. After Mo left the army, he still felt the need to put himself through similar situations he'd experienced in war. This meant going for long marches on his own in the woods with full kit. Mo's intention was to exercise his demons, but did it work?
So, Mo, I mean, it's a tricky subject, really, but I mean, the idea of this post-traumatic stress disorder, you say it's something that you suffer from?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's even just, you know, kind of...
It's an uncomfortable and awkward moment, so I try and lighten the mood.
You want to have a sausage? That'll liven you up.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, you lost me there.
That was silly. That was silly.
I've touched a raw nerve and I'm a little worried for how Mo's feeling. But I have a more pressing concern. The beans have had an instant effect on me.
I'll tell you something though, Mo. I've got to have a shit. Not out of fear. Don't start thinking this out of fear.
No. It's necessity.
I'm due a pony. As you say in East London, I'm due a pony. It's a bit embarrassing. I don't want to talk about it on this.
Can't wait till the morning, can you?
Not really, Mo, no. I'll just go have a squat over there.
Well, yeah, you can have a squat over there, mate. But take that with you.
Oh, no, what have I got to what?
We've got to wrap it up, mate. You've got to bring it. Everything that comes out goes back.
Oh.
You want me to hold your hand or anything?
No, you're all right. You're all right.
I'll give it a go, but I'm not having any joy.
Well, that was quick.
You know what it is, mate? I don't think I can do this.
Fuck off.
No, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, right?
Yeah, come on, you can do it.
No, I've just had a little moment. I was over there.
No, you're all right.
I was taking my strides off.
Come on.
Right, and I was unravelling the cling film.
And?
And I thought, I can't be fucking ponying in a bit of cling film.
Why
Listen,
not?
if I was in a proper war situation I was doing, I totally understand what you're doing here because you're trying to give me an insight into what it would be like. I don't think I can have a shit in a bit of cling film.
You could if you tried.
No, but I can't do it, mate. I feel embarrassed because you took time out to take me out. You know, you got all the gear for me, but I can't fucking bring myself to do it. I can't do it. You know, and I'm
Mate, look, we'll have a kip. We'll have a little kip, mate.
That's the other thing. I know I was kipping out here. I don't fucking be fucked with it.
I'm disappointed.
I need to go home.
Fuck off. Look, it's a fucking lovely evening. Look, how could it be any better than this?
I've got to go make a call.
Danny, come on.
I've got to make a call, Mo.
Fuck you.
Honestly.
Get out of it.
No,
there's no
seriously.
signal.
No, I can get a signal.
You can't get a signal. You're going to leave me here?
No, I'll come.
You're going to leave me here?
I'll come back in a minute.
I'll fucking come and get you.
I'll make a phone call and I'll book myself a vehicle. I feel like I failed Mo's final test.
Yeah, mate, listen, I've got to go. Honestly, seriously, I have to go.
Mate, I was just winding you up.
I know you was winding me up.
I was just winding you up, mate.
Mate, I feel a bit embarrassed, so...
Nah, don't, mate, don't.
I've got to shoot off.
Well, mate, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? I'm staying put. I'm staying put. I'll see it through.
You're a good man. You're a gentleman.
Nah, pleasure. Good job. Take care.
Thanks. It's embarrassing, man. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. Like, if you're in a real war situation, I can totally understand you ain't got a choice in the matter, but I could never, ever, ever understand what that man's been through.
In Britain, the rate of suicide and the number of war veterans going to prison is on the increase because men like Mo Teague come back home from the war zone and realise they've got another battle to fight in Civvy Street. This time it's a battle to keep their sanity. I think that Mo is winning his personal war. Through his martial arts, he's found a way of channeling his violence into a controlled discipline. Mo Teague is a lovely fella, and I warm to him and his family. Feels like I've made a new friend. I think he's mostly happy with his life, but a part of Mo will always remain just like the live grenade he keeps in his living room. A dangerous weapon that you won't want to be too close to if it goes off. This goes out to all the South London boys, living it up, living like kings in a concrete jungle. Respect to anyone who's lost their lives on the streets. Respect to anyone who's living dangerously.
PDC.